For the win. Bring them W's back here. JJ, I ain't passing you no backwood, man. You kill me. Fam, the Julio drama, right? As the steady flow of 911 regarding the possible moving Mrs. Jones' baby boy Julio to the Niners and other organizations take shape going into the after June 1st favorable trade dates. News comes that could eliminate the Niners if NFL sports media can be taken seriously. And I say that after going through 2 summers in a row where they lie a lot. It is being reported, though, that there exists a team that is offering a first-round pick to the Falcons. Such an offer would take the Niners out of the equation if that report is true, as you probably already know. Tonight, we'll be going to the phones for your take on a possibility of a Jones, the 49ers situation that may be growing a little bit tired, you know what I'm saying? Or wanting to know if you are still clinging to hope to bring Julio. Oh, by the way, family, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, veteran tight end McCole Pruitt is scheduled to visit the San Francisco 49ers next week after visiting with the Baltimore Ravens this week. Fam, have you noticed, are the 49ers, what's wrong with the guys we have? I mean, Ross Dwelly went out and got bigger just for the 49ers. And what about Chucky Warner? Are we going to look at him this year or what? It doesn't seem that way, does it? If the 49ers can land a veteran quarterback, you know what, though? If the 49ers can land a veteran tight end, they're going to. Fam, this is why I am positive the SB window, the 49ers are thinking nothing but for going for the stars. They were going for it last year, but this year they ain't playing. So, you know, well, they weren't playing last year either. But the thing is, you can see what the 49ers do. This is what Super Bowl teams do. They go out and get those guys that are on the last legs, but do offer enough to go into a Super Bowl and provide that kind of leadership and experience to get the job done. And they didn't stop at that. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, former Broncos linebacker Brandon Marshall worked out today for the Niners, per source. Again, for the same reason, I would imagine. You know, you want everybody out there that knows the ropes and has been through it all to come on out here and let's win this Lombardi. That's got to be it, right? Otherwise, I don't know. 49ers, man, we got kids you should be bringing along. We'll see. Because you haven't signed him yet, so, you know. Let's get into Julio, because Julio is making me laugh at this point. I'm not taking it seriously anymore. I'm going to tell you the truth. Julio... Okay, let me not add that bias. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you what's going on with this, and you tell me. Let's discuss this. Julio Jones has been the topic of the week since it was revealed on FS1's Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe that he had no intentions of returning to the Falcons. After a multitude of rumors and clarifications, there have been significant talks, and an offer may finally be on the table the way they're talking now. However, it is likely not from the Niners. Atlanta's asking price in the Jones talks has been a first-round pick, which many teams seem unwilling to offer, given Jones' age and contract. And like some people are saying in the chat, are you kidding me? No, he's not getting a first-round. We're not giving up a first-round pick for him, and nobody else should be either, right? And if you ask Trez, a third-round pick might be too much. So you know, this is like why you should know. Most likely, somebody's lying. I would guess if this report has been influenced by anybody, it's got to be the Falcons. That's how you up the ante, right? Lie about it. And the media loves to lie anyway. So, you know, this morning, ESPN's Diana Rossini reported that there's a one offer out that there includes a first-round pick in return for JJ. While the offer's particulars haven't been released, wonder why? It is almost certainly not from the Niners, as they lack first-round picks over the next 2 years after their massive trade-up to pick number 3 in this past April's draft. ESPN also adds that, quote, it is likely that Jones will not be traded until after June 1 because of the salary cap benefits for the Falcons, unquote. So it may be a few more days before any details of this potential trade come out. Still, with a first-round pick on the table, a few suitors like the Niners may fall out of the Jones sweepstakes. With a lack of capital and a preference to develop talent through the draft anyway, the Niners have been slipping down the rankings of odds for obtaining J.J. Like, I was talking with people on Twitter. You know, anytime there's a deal out there, the 49ers were sitting at home, turns on the Kyle, John turns on the radio or turns on the TV or whatever mode where they get the info from. 49ers are said to be in the running for Julio Jones. Kyle, yeah, did you call Atlanta for any kind of a dealing that concerns Jones? I didn't either. Okay, we'll just watch this one play out. You know, man, I really think the 49ers get blindsided about some of these deals because they've already admitted to it. Remember, the 49ers said sometimes we just watch these things unfold and see what shape they're going to take. God, the media is shameless. Shameless. So although the former connection to the coach Shanahan has made the pairing an intriguing thought, and that's probably what all of this is based on. Earlier this week, Ian Rappaport confirmed that Jones had asked Falcons manager for a trade earlier this offseason, and the Falcons began listening to offers out of respect. They respect the dude, man. Go ahead. He wants out. He's done a lot for us. Let's not mess with him. We don't want an Aaron Rodgers situation running around here with Julio running up and down the streets of Atlanta. Man, they don't want to treat a man right. I ain't going to put up with this. How much years I give y'all good service? And now I can't even get them to do a little bit. Not a damn thing for me. You don't want this. So, they're going to go ahead and entertain the thought, right? So the drama we witnessed just days ago, while unknowingly being on live air with Shannon Sharp, it certainly was a surprise. Jones' statement likely doesn't impact his trade value, as the word has been out for several months. I'm growing weary of this, fam. I got to tell you, I'm tired of it. I want to move on. I want to let's get into camp. I want to know what's going on there. Guys, what are we doing? It's just silly at this point. But I'm starting to become a big fan of Grant. Grant, man, I got to see if we can get you to join us one night. You know what I'm saying? According to my dude, Grant Cone, who wants to know why millennials are often wearing short shorts. And millennials are taking shots at Grant. I guess that's Grant's shot back at him. You guys got to get out of them short shorts. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Grant has nothing but good things to say about Juwan Jennings, though, of whom he reported for SI.com, an early standout from OTAs. GC describes our very own JJ as looking slim, strong, and explosive, and he's playing with the starters. GC goes on to say, quote, if it didn't have to do with an injury or a quarterback, you probably didn't hear about it during Niners OTAs. But there's one young player who has completely transformed himself from a year ago. Wide receiver Juwan Jennings is the early standout of the Niners' spring training program. He looks slim, strong, and explosive, and he's playing with the starters. The 49ers draft Jennings in round 7 last year, presumably to have him replace Kendrick Bourne this year. They're both big slot receivers, but Jennings struggled big time last year during the offseason, perhaps because the pandemic canceled minicamp, rookie minicamp, and OTAs. Oh, when Jennings arrived at training camp last July, he looked slow and out of shape. Like a low-level undrafted free agent, and he struggled to get open and catch passes. So the Niners waived him at the end of camp and spent his entire rookie season on the practice squad. Expectations for Jennings coming into this offseason couldn't have been any lower, and yet he looks like he has transformed his body more than any other player. Last year, Jennings couldn't beat hardly anyone. This year, in a 7-on-7 drill, Jennings ran past starting line nickelback K'Wan Williams and made a long catch down the middle of the field seem easy. Reached up and grabbed the ball with his hands without breaking stride. What? Could it be that K'Wan didn't take Jennings seriously? That you never hear anybody doing that to K'Wan. He don't play that. Maybe K'Wan's not ready for the season yet. Okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm more concerned about K'Wan than I am Jennings. Jennings probably always had this capability. K'Wan, what's up, man? Although I don't want you pulling up hurt or anything. Okay, maybe K-Ball's being cautious. Jennings seems like the early favorite, according to Grant, to be the 49ers slot receiver in 2021. Of course, if 2019 third-round pick Jalen Hurd gets healthy and stays healthy, he could be the man. But Hurd isn't healthy and Jennings is, and he looks terrific. Unquote. Foul. Does our very own JJ report make you feel any better? Or can you do without Atlanta's JJ? Or if that deal isn't made, will your life of happiness end suddenly? That is the subject on the table tonight, as I've not heard anything that's going on in camp. Chad Garrison said, "Yeah, don't bet on Julio to the Niners." Heard someone offer the first round, and I can guarantee you that wasn't the Niners. I did too. James McClary, I'm pretty sure he could have been gotten for a second or third. It may not be over, James. You could be right on the money. Chris Lee says if he goes to another NFC West team, oh, man, no. The only thing that worries me is he goes to a team that's already overly stacked, and you know who it is, the Cardinals. As a matter of fact, I don't need him running next door to door with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett either. You know what? And the Rams, or whom already picked by so many to win the NFC West, is another issue. If the 49ers find out that any one of those three teams are involved, they've got to make a strategic move to stop that from happening. Patriot Cigar says, Ronbo, but that team who offered the first round pick is probably expecting the Falcons to kick in some cash. You know, that's going to happen anyway. They waited till June 1st. I think that has an effect on that to begin with. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me pick up my ears and say, hey, Dre, what's going on, man? Give me Dre. San Francisco's Dre.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Dre, man, I'm getting a little weary. I'm starting to, Dre, I don't even want Julio now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I want to talk about the 49ers, man. Julio and Trez made me see the light yesterday, too. Trez came in and just, y'all need to get up off of Julio. The Julio is his best years is behind him. The injuries that he gets now last weeks, not days. And I thought about that for a minute. And I watched a couple of games of Falcons last year, and I did see Julio standing on the sideline directing the other guys on the team. So I said, I hadn't paid much attention to it last year, but now that he mentions it, it's a good point. Dre, are you going to be okay if we don't land Julio? And how do you feel about Juwan Jennings, according to Greg Cohn, kicking some major booty after a short practice? Well, a short look at it, should put it that way.
I feel excellent. And I also think that Jalen Hurd is perfectly fine. They're just keeping him out for precaution reasons. And Jimmy kind of let me in on that. Because he said he can't wait for him to get back. He's fine, but he just can't wait for him to be able to touch the field. So I'm like, oh, okay, Jimmy, I see you. I like that. Because he said that was a favorite target of his.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so we got Jalen, we got Jennings, we got a couple of other people that's supposed to be stopping by. I mean, if we can get these people for free, well, not for free, but without drafting off of, auctioning off a pick.
And paying Grand Theft Auto. Yep.
Exactly. So why not? We probably even have enough money to bring back Richard Sherman, and I would really want him back. I know a lot of people are going to be like, why you want him back? I mean, he's more of a coach. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of young cornerbacks, that's coming in, and him being there, it means a lot,
He does. He brings a fire. And that's always a good thing.
Exactly. So I'll be excited for this year. I'm not going to be depressed if he don't come. I wasn't depressed when none of these dudes came because they was washed up where they was. So they're going to be washed up when they get here. That's why it goes for Matthew Stafford, where everybody was going crazy over him. I really wasn't a big fan. I was praying to God that they didn't get him the same way I did Mac Jones. Jesus heard me a lot this year about football. He said, please don't let him get him. Please don't let them get him. Please. He answered a lot of them. So, but I'm happy where we stand right now with the players that we have on our roster that belong to us. I'm very excited about what's to come.
You see, because the thing is, I want the 49ers, you know what? This is probably a fan and media thing anyway. The 49ers ain't paying any attention. Kyle and John, well, maybe not John so much. John may be on the phones, working the phones, but Kyle is working on a team. And, that's the important thing. As long as he's not involved with what's going on upstairs, that's fine. Yeah. But I'm
Right.
every day in the news, Julio Jones, Julio Jones, Julio Jones. We're not getting Julio Jones. We're not. I would bet a lot on that. I just don't see it.
Don't he got a bum ankle?
Is that right? Because I've not heard
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard he had a bum ankle, and that's what kept him out a portion of last year, was that ankle. And his hamstring problems. There was a couple of problems I was hearing from fans. I was hearing that because I heard from, our fans that the Cardinals might think about it. And I'm listening to a couple of their little YouTube channels, and they like, you boring as they is. I try to say, well, but when I heard Julio, I'm like, oh, okay, well, now what y'all talking about? They didn't want him. They didn't want him. They don't want him there. They said keep him where he is.
Wait, Cards
So
fans don't want Julio?
no, they don't want him. They say
Really?
he'll be a great addition, but they don't want him. They're not. It's not preferable.
Dre, think about it. They got
And
D Hop. They got
yeah,
AJ Green. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They got
and it
the
don't make no
Drake.
sense for us to do it. It don't
Actually,
make no sense for us to do it.
especially, but the thing is, we need a third dude. But I like what I'm saying. Jalen Hurd and Jawan Jennings, if they're the third guys, I'm okay with that. And you're right. Jimmy dropping that dime on Hurd could mean he opened his mouth before he was supposed to or talk out of turn because he now reveals information that sounds like if Jimmy's talking that way, probably Hurd is ready to play. So,
Hurd is ready to play. I believe so. They just keeping him out for precaution reasons. Or they want to probably keep him out past the time he tore his ACL. So that's just to be on the safe side that he cleared the year.
mhm.
Because you got to be gone a year in order to come back from an ACL tear. So
Yeah, and
just to clear the
he's
year,
been gone a full year and some now because he left early in camp last year, and we didn't see him since. So, he makes
I don't
such
know
a.
what day he did it.
Oh, it was in the first opening weeks. He was over in the other field
Oh,
training with the trainer, and somehow he did something. Remember, the first initial report was he may have. We said, oh, he sprained it. He'd be okay. And a few minutes later, that is an ACL. No, oh God,
that's the same thing
no.
happened with our running back. Our running back did the same thing. He was in the
Meniscus.
workout room working out. Yeah, when he got up, he said he turned to talk to somebody, and when he
And it hurt like
turned,
hell.
he he said he felt something went wrong, and they did a scan on it, and he
MRI and
tore the whole meniscus. He blew it
oh,
up. So we're praying. Let's pray that he comes back and be
four to
able to perform
4 to 6 months.
for
He's
yeah,
on. He'll be on the pup. He'll be on the pup.
but he'll be fresh. Like
I,
everybody said, he'll be fresh like about week 6.
ain't that the truth? Well, fam, I'm gonna
You
see
know.
you. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Hopefully, they give us some reports. I'm not sure why they're not getting any reports. They were in camp today. The reporters were supposed to be allowed, so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they're just a little late with
Let's keep
the.
it quiet.
Yeah.
Let's
We'll
keep
talk
it
about it
quiet. We don't
tomorrow.
want nobody knowing our moves. Right. All right.
All
Y'all
right, man.
stay safe. It's not as all day.
Yeah. Have a good night. He goes, Drake, San Francisco, Drake, the original. 49ers red and gold. Thoughts on the Niners signing Todd Gurley while Wilson is out? I saw that conversation going on in there. Gurley'd have to take a pay cut. We're not paying him premium prices like he was getting in Los Angeles, and I don't know what he was getting from the Falcons. Gurley's a bad dude when he's Gurley. I have a problem with it. Hey, John, the 49ers
Ronbo.
is here. John, John Howard, what are you, have you getting worn out about Julio, or are you going to keep a candle burning in your window before you go to bed for Julio?
When it comes to Julio Jones, there's probably a few other teams that have a better opportunity to take him over the 49ers. Of course, if he comes to San Francisco, it's going to really help Jimmy or Lance, whoever, because he's a very dangerous receiver. It doesn't matter, that last year he only played 9 games, but when you look at his injury history, he's been able to play, 14, or more games in his whole career. Last year was just a bad year for everybody. So when I hear the arguments that he's been hurt the last couple of years, then he was able to play 14 games in 2019. So he only missed 2 games, and then of course last year he missed 7, the most. Plus 2020 was a very bad year. But for the 49ers, they have more important players to pay right now. The rookies, we still have 4 more rookies we have to pay. We haven't paid Trey Lance yet, so we don't know
That's the biggest
yearly
one
salary.
too.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest one. So even though we have like 17.9, then we still have Trey Sermon. We haven't signed him yet. We haven't signed cornerback Embry Thomas, and then I think there's one more player we haven't drafted. So at the end of the day, that money's gonna shrink. So even if on June 1st, we're still not gonna have enough money for that 15.3 million. Plus, we have to pay Warner, and then Bosa. That's gonna be another contract that we have to next offseason to see how he does in 2021. And of course, we have our 2 young wide receivers. Those contracts are going to come up eventually. So right now the Niners have to focus on what's in-house versus bringing someone who can be a very premier quality receiver for us. But at the end of the day, logistically, money-wise, we don't have any draft capital. The Falcons, they really want a first-round pick, and the Titans, that wide receiver, he made a Twitter video say, "Hey, come over to Tennessee." There are teams that are trying to get that guy, not just San Francisco. So we will see what happens.
That was funny. I was amused by that. You're right. I loved it. Julio, even if he'd only play 8 or 9 games, as long as they were at the end of the season, going to the playoffs, it'd be awesome. But man, I don't know. It's starting to stress me out. Every time you look up Julio, and I said, will you guys make a decision on this? Could he please get somewhere? But it was going to have to wait till next week anyway. June 1st is the date. If any deal goes down, it's going to have to wait till then anyway. So, but we do become a different team with Julio. He hits the ground running. He knows Kyle. They know each other. Kyle knows what his capabilities are, where to use them, how to use them. It would be an ideal situation, John. It would be perfect. That's why it's making everybody crazy.
Yep. And then also on June 1, like basically once that day happens, teams are going to be cutting wide receivers.
I know, right?
Not just their 5th, 6th, 7th. No, they're going to be cutting quality wide receivers. And one name that we have to be keep an eye on is what the Browns are going to do with Odell Beckham, because Kyle Shanahan has said a lot of nice things about him. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, we are going to find a wide receiver on cut day that's going to be cheaper than Julio Jones, that could be probably at the same level as Debo and Ayuk, probably with no injury history, or maybe Jennings, who in the last 3 days the media has been writing a lot of great things about this wide receiver who missed the entirety of last year.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's the reason why they didn't draft a wide receiver. Because what if this guy who was drafted, I think, in the 6th or 7th round last year is much better than maybe Richie James? So at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen, because once the media gets more opportunities to watch the practices, the players are able to practice more and more. The players are going to get better and better, and we're going to finally see how this team is going to stack up leading to preseason and then to the start of the regular season. So for me, I'm personally not worried about it, because no matter what happens, either we have the number 3 guy on the roster already, or some team is going to be dumb enough to let go, maybe the Browns, a quality wide receiver.
Nah, that won't work, because the Browns need to keep butts in the seats, and that's a bad PR move to get rid of OBJ. But listen, you just lit a fire on me with that. Can you imagine Jalen Hurd and Jawan Jennings are ready to really contribute heavily? Oh my goodness. Kendrick Bourne, that's fine. You can go ahead and get paid. And Richie James, that's it for you, buddy.
So we'll see what happens. That's all all we can see, because right now nothing's happening. Like I said, there's even other teams. Like right now, the odds in Vegas are saying the Patriots or the Chargers.
For JJ, I know. Yeah. Anyway, he's the 49ers Ultimate Report. Get all over. You can tell how enthusiastic and loving of our team he is. John, we're going to go and let's see what happens between now and tomorrow.
All right, Ronbo, one quick shout out to my boy Tommy Huxley, and of course, Niners all day.
And the Blues, man, who was that guy he's working on? He really pissed him off. Have a good night. 49ers Ultimate Report.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, John. Oh, God. And who's got here? I got another. Because I got to tell you, man, if we do sign, it's the thing where you set yourself up as a defense mechanism, right? If you're going to sit here and worry about Julio, it's going to ruin the taste of your beer in the evening. Pizza's going to not be exciting to you if it is like me. Brock O'Niner, another rumored player we're getting. Shocker. JJ, I know, right? Here he is, in perfect timing as usual. He always mellows things out when we're pulling our hair out. If you don't shave your head like I do, you probably got plugs all out of your head, you know. But Phil, it's Chill Pill, Phil. Hey, Phil, have you had enough of the Julio conversation? Or we got to put up with this for another week.
Well, you know what? Nothing's going to happen till June 1st. I don't believe they got a first-round pick. These are the same reporters that said we were going to take Mac Jones. All right?
See how me but Phil always puts
put it in the credibility factor of 0. As far as our cap space, currently we've got $17 million. We've got to still sign Trey Sermon, as John said, and Aubrey Thomas. But you know what? Their cap hit is going to be a net 0 change to our cap number, because they're going to only sign for $870, and the guy they're going to replace is making $890, which is the veteran minimum. So we'll actually gain money in the cap once they get signed. Trey Lance is the $6 million guy that we're going to have to structure.
Yeah, there's a price.
And that's where Barack's going to get involved on whether they give him a big signing bonus or not, and structure it so that it's either, higher later on, or is it going to be, $6 million a year for 4 years? But, the cap, we've got more maneuverability. And, John was saying the Titans. Well, the Titans only have $3 million in cap space, and they haven't signed any of their rookies yet, not even their first pick. So, there's 3 factors in Julio Jones. One is the cap. Do you have cap space? Can you maneuver around the cap? And it's a lot harder for teams at this point in time of the year, where they've got their 90-man rosters already set. It's really hard to get rid of cap space, because you have to get rid of probably a starter to
make
get
any
like
substantial
$10 or $15
impact.
million in cap space. So there's only a few teams that have the cap that can actually get into the race. The other thing is, do you have draft capital? Because Atlanta wants draft capital. I don't see any team giving up a first-round pick for Julio Jones with his salary of $15 million, unless Atlanta's willing to eat some of that base salary and get a first-round pick after eating some of the monies.
Let me ask you something on that, though. Phil, one question on that, though. Here's the thing. Atlanta, it's being reported, can't even pay their draft picks right now. So at some point, you can bend their arm and say, listen, you guys got 5 minutes to make a deal here, or else you're going to have to, what are you going to do with your draft picks?
No, I'm going to give you Atlanta has no leverage whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they're at the predicament, do I keep Julio, or do I get rid of Kyle Pitts as a free agent?
Oh.
Then you'll see a bidding war.
Oh, we'll give you a pick for him, Jack.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, Ronbo, they're going to sign Pitts. They're going to get rid of Julio. Every team knows they have to get rid of him. So that means their bargaining chips are much lower.
Yes.
They're not going
to cut him, Phil. Maybe
they may not get a second-round pick.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You keep waiting until June 1st.
It could be a third. Only a third.
Not a fifth, though, Phil. Our best
Now we've
picks are
got
made in the fifth.
2/3.
Yeah.
We've got 2/3, our own, and we've got Mayhew's comp third round pick next year. We got rid of Salas in the moving up in the draft, but we're still in the race. I think the Niners are inquiring.
Yeah, of course.
They're not going to let
Lynch it.
stone unturned.
Yeah.
So they're inquiring.
Yeah.
The question is, what's the price? What's the competition? Who's in the cap space? Who can make cap? We've got plenty of cap. And everybody goes, oh, we can't sign Fred. Well, Fred Warner's not going to go against this year's cap anyway.
Ooh.
It's going to be an extension. He's under contract for this year. They put him under an extension. That money goes towards next year and the year after and the year after and the year after.
And when the cap's going to expand to huge amounts. Chill, pill, Phil. Putting things in proper spaces. I love it. You do that, Phil.
Well, the cap is only going to be $208 million next year because the owners took a hit by raising it to $180 this year. And so, but the year after that is when all the cap goes skyrocketing. Yes. All the gambling money, the new contracts from TV. Yeah. So that's what the Niners are banking on. They're going to have plenty of money to maneuver once the third year kicks in. And they're going to have a rookie contract at quarterback. They'll have plenty of money. Money's not the problem with the Niners. So we're in great shape. A lot of teams are in real bad shape. Real bad shape.
Nolans.
And so, and I just think that the Rams are in really bad shape. They kicked the can down the road to where they're going to get hurt pretty soon.
Rams going to start giving players food stamps. They really do look bad. I don't know what they're doing, but that's just ridiculous. I just don't think these journalists ever look at the cap. Phil, they don't care.
Math is not.
It's create the narrative that brings the most attention. Yeah, that's why I don't trust them anymore.
Journalism degree, you don't take a lot of math or economics. So
we're out of time.
They just don't get it.
I know, and they do.
Right,
they do it on purpose. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Got to get back here tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
Looking for you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Night, Phil.
Okay,
Appreciate you. Bye. Yeah, I love when Phil always checks all the little soft spots that have been overlooked. He always catches me off guard on that, too. It's D. Ow! D. Get out of there, D.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
Damn. He's not a broadcast. I always love when D gets in here. And I can't wait till the season starts just so D can start doing Javon Kinlaw imitations. You do that like, I mean, you're Jimmy Fallon. He ain't got nothing on you, man. Hey, but D, look, I don't know. I love the way you look at things from where you sit. The Julio thing? Are you losing any sleep over this matter? And about Juwan Jennings and Jalen Hurd. And I know how you feel about Jalen, but Juwan Jennings from Grant Cohn, who doesn't like even his mother, said good things about him. What are you thinking?
Oh man, I ain't losing no sleep over Julio Jones. Nope, don't even care about Julio. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, they want a first-round pick for him. If Tennessee Titans want to offer that up, go right ahead. You guys have fun with that. And it's not to say this is nothing negative against Julio. He is a fantastic player. That's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I would love for him to get a ring. But at the end of the day, like we have no business trying to get in on those talks unless it's considered some late round picks because we don't have the draft capital to be able to offer in the first place. So I'm not worried about Julio at all. I'm not losing any sleep over that.
See, that's healthy. Yeah, I agree. There's no point going through all that misery.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do much about it. Had we not moved up to 12, oh yeah, he would have been a 9. He'd have been a 9, automatic. Yeah. Had we stayed where we were, we would have had the draft capital, and they would have been like, oh, we want a first round pick. Kyle would have called and said, Arthur, oh buddy, pal, talk to me, baby. All right, let's get this deal done, huh? And they'd have been fine. They'd have went ahead, traded him. We'd have got him. Julio would have been a Niner. We could have put him and Ayuk on the outside, bumped Debo into the slot. Game over. We don't worry about the wide receiver 3 position.
And even
That's
if
exactly
Julio doesn't
how that
play
would've
all
worked.
season long, you got between Jennings and Hurd, I got a feeling one of them is going to get it done, right? So Julio comes back after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever he's back. We go into the playoffs, and Rams fans, Raider fans running up in here talking all kind of trash. Oh, they'd be the trash that would be taken out that day. Throw that Raider trash out here, that Hawks trash, that Rams trash.
Oh yeah, yeah. But so what I did, Ronbo, and I don't know if are you familiar with Key and Peele?
Oh God, I watch them
They're
religiously,
comedians.
but them dudes have me in tears. Them skits they do is pure genius.
Okay.
But what's the connection?
Have you ever seen the Obama and Luther skit?
My favorite, his anger management, his anger dude, because Obama's
Yes.
too cool.
So I did that. So I did that for these past interviews. The first interviews with Kyle and Fred and Jimmy and George. So I did that. I've already put up 2 videos on the channel. So y'all got to go check them out, man, because it's basically, man, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to give you a little snippet of Jimmy. Basically, they asked Jimmy about Trey I don't know how many times. His facial expression, his body language spoke volumes. Jimmy himself said everything that he was supposed to say. He was trained by the best. He was trained by Belichick. He was trained by Brady, the Patriot way, all that stuff. But this is what Jimmy was saying. Y'all MFers is going to continue to ask me about this little punk kid that they came in to take my dang job. So let me tell y'all exactly what this is. When I'm on the field, this team wins. When I'm not on the field, this team sucks. We went to a Super Bowl with who at quarterback? Last I checked, my name was Jimmy G. Put some respect on my name. Stop playing with me.
Luther, tone it down. Tone it down, please.
You know what I'm saying?
Those skits used to wear me out. That's your best work.
Oh my God! And that's what Jimmy was feeling, man. He was really feeling like that. Like, yo, y'all really finna just jump on this kid, you know what? And then just basically y'all basically like I'm a horse that's being put out to pasture or something. And just take Jimmy out back, shoot him, and call it a day. And Jimmy said it himself. He was like, I'm going to go out there and do what I do best. I'm going to win. Like, you guys must have forgot about this. So I did a couple of videos just breaking it down and showing, the frustration that Jimmy G has, because it's sickening, because I'm so glad he showed some kind of fire and to, some kind of gumption to say, you know what? I'm tired of y'all asking me about this little punk kid. All right. And it's no disrespect to Trey Lance. But it's just at the same thing.
But it's a disrespect to Jimmy to keep asking him that every single day. You know what? They are going to make Jimmy G, the media is going to turn Jimmy G into a top 5 QB this year. Watch, see.
If he never had a fire lit under him, he's got one burning right now. Because you got to think about it. The minute Jimmy does something wrong or he starts to have a bad game, you're going to hear we back in the stands. So all you're going to hear is, Trey to the base. Trey to the base. Trey.
I look for Jimmy to be flawless most of this year just because of that. You can because he's
when
very
he gets
competitive
angry,
guy.
he does play better.
He does. After those INTs, every time he throws an INT, next time he comes back out, all of a sudden he looks like Brady. I said, Jimmy, I'm thinking to myself, Jimmy, Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what? That could have been avoided. You don't need to get mad. Just do that all the time.
Right?
God. Anyway, as I've always said, some of it's not his fault, but some of it is. So, anyway, I'm coming right over.
Look,
as soon as we get through here, I'm Niner Gang podcast to watch Key and Dion in action. Key, Peel, and Dion. Yeah. I can't wait.
Oh man. Yeah, you got to definitely check that out, man. I did it just to lighten up things, make it entertaining so people could get a good laugh. I'll be coming with more actual content. Thank you, Ronbo. I appreciate everything that you do, brother. You are an inspiration to all of us out there with the channels. And y'all hit that like and subscribe button, especially to all y'all haters in here. Y'all here, once again, like I always say, because your team sucks. You don't have a Ronbo. You'll never have a Ronbo. And no one cares enough about your team to have a platform like this. That's the problem.
I believe that too. Thanks,
Have
fam.
a good evening, brother.
And say goodnight to Jasmine for me. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to be over
All
in a bit.
right.
I ain't lying. I got to see this because, man, you got some serious talents. Niner Gang Podcast. Check it out. I'll see you there. All right, fam. Talk to you later. It's D. Oh, man. Hey, Russell.
Mr. Ronbo, sir.
Russell, we're discussing. I can't. You know what, Russell? I can't wait until June 2nd. And why? I am so worn out with the Julio conversation. It's gotten to the point now. The Julio conversation is overshadowing everything else. We got a few more days, and we'll be done with this. Damn. Is he coming or not? If not, stop playing with people's emotions. And the Falcons, they don't have enough money to pay their players now. Stop clowning. You're going to get rid of him. And Russell, well, you know what would be more hilarious? They just said, well, nobody's going to offer us anything at all now, so we're just going to cut him. Because if they wait until June or May 31 days this month, then all of a sudden it's going to be, and nobody wants to call. Okay, look, 4th round, 5th round pick. Russell, what, you got a lot of strange words. Are you sipping through a straw or making espresso?
Oh, I like the espresso. I say we dip a little bit, you know.
I was talking about that noise in the background.
You know, but I think the fan. What's that again?
No, I heard something weird in the background. It sounded like a cappuccino machine. That's why I asked you that. But I don't hear it now. Okay, good. Russell, go ahead. Get into
I
it.
turned my fan off. It's probably my fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting here playing a little Call of Duty as I was waiting for you.
Oh, yeah.
This was the first time I got on board and tried to get a hold of you real quick, like as soon as your thing came on, and that's how many people call you, just so you know, man. You got all kind of love, Ronbo.
Well, thanks, Russ.
Normally I'll be listening to you and I'll be like, I wonder if I could get a hold of him, so I'll try, and I still can. But like this time I called like as soon as you came out, and it still took a good half hour, 45 minutes. So man, you doing something right there, boss. As far as having Grant Cohan on the fucking show, I don't know. I think that put a little
I've
shade
always
on
been
yourself.
worried about that,
so
Russ.
you know what?
Yeah, Grant has two levels of fans. Ones that really love him, and the others, I'm not sure what they think, but some of it's not good. Because I've seen the people over on his chat, and they are rude. So, Jesus, Grant.
It's like that Apple thing, right? The Apple thing.
Yeah.
Falling far from the tree or something.
But these people
But no, as far as Julio, man, I think that would be awesome, man. And if we had to give up a little capital, yeah, Grant, I know we got Debo, I know we got Ayuk, but he is one of the best. You know what I mean? He's a beast for a reason. And if there's any chance we could get him and he even wants to come to our house, I'd say that'd be all good. I'd be all for it, you know. Just as long as we're not giving up like Bosa or I wouldn't even trade Debo for him, but if we could get him for a second, a first in 2018, 92, I'd be like okay with that too. But I don't know, like I think we're almost in win now mode, and if we have Jimmy, who I think will be just fine this year, because I like the last caller how he was razzing Jimmy G about that. He's like, hey, this is how I really look. I haven't seen the video, but I've heard that from like a video or two, and it's kind of funny. I need to check that.
Niner Gang
that pick out.
Niner Gang Podcast. Go check it out. Well, yeah, Russell, look, Jimmy, they ask him that question every freaking day. What do you want him to say? I mean, why do you keep asking him that? Is there anything else you can ask him? Jimmy, are you upset? Or what were your emotions like when you heard the 49ers? Oh, they were right up front with me the whole time. And you were fine with that? Okay, you guys want to ask me anything else, I'm ready to answer. I can see he's raised in Patriotville, so Jimmy's the ultimate pro. Off and on the field interviews, doesn't matter.
I was going to say those exact words. He's a pro, man. He's like Alex Smith, if and that conditioning, like he's a pro, dude. Like Jimmy's a pretty cool cat, and I know he got a lot of slack, and that's too bad because every time me and you talk, we've always said the same thing. We both like him. He's a good dude, and he's right. When he plays, he wins, and he does good. I think he had like one or two embarrassing moments where he did that, like, somersault upside down, couple circles in the same, play. He had one or two embarrassing plays, but other than that, He's always tried hard, and we don't know what kind of
And Russell,
scrutiny Shanny puts him under.
And Russell, how many quarterbacks in the NFL never make a mistake? This is the thing I always say. Jimmy throws an INT. Hey, do you know Jimmy in 2019 went about 4 or 5 weeks without throwing an INT? Not a word. He goes, first INT. Oh, look, here he goes again. I said, you know what, you sons, I always get upset when I'm watching. You guys start every time he makes a mistake. I can watch Rodgers and Brady, anybody else in the league make a mistake, no big deal. But let Jimmy make one mistake, bend over to tie his shoe, and that was wrong. I said, come on, man, that's why I started taking up for him. He is overly criticized. That's why I said, come on. He wins.
How do you say this? This is like a cracker in a nutshell. Like, how do you say we have the best fans on earth? We truly do, man. Like, I've seen our fans do things that drop my jaw. Like, I've seen people like help people out. I've had a person help me out, like literally, because I'm a Niner fan on Twitter. Like 5 years ago, like a couple dudes, I was gonna literally sell my Dwight Clark signed jersey because I was in a hard time, and I put it on Twitter. I'm like, hey, if anyone's interested, $200, man. If I have the authenticity, and like no joke, dude, like Niner fans on Twitter
everywhere
reached out to each other and gave me $200 to help me out of my hard time, and they said, we want you to keep it. And I swear on my soul.
Hey.
So like, we have the best fans in the world. Like I yes, sir.
I absolutely agree. I'm not those people I love. I've got thousands of them. We it's always, even the ones that I disagree with.
You already know.
We disagree with in a very social, civilized fashion. There are some people out there though that will take you to task over the most stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. So I'll sit up all night tweeting with that son of a. And it's stupid on my part too. We have got to learn to stay calm over dumbass people that just happen to be 49er fans. Because for the most part, you're right. Most 49er fans are good sense people. I agree.
We're amazing. We're amazing. But I was going to say, on the flip side of that coin, even though we're amazing, we're probably the most critical, and we all have our opinions. With that being said, it's a rock and a hard place at the same time. But I love them all. I love you, man, and I love all the cats, man. They're amazing people.
Thanks, man. And the 49ers, we have great expectations because it is a franchise. We're a storied franchise. We're one of a few of the elite Super Bowl teams in the Super Bowl era. That's what I said, Rams fans. Shut up, Hawks fans. You see, that's why we have those expectations, because we've seen the best. So, Russ, hey, we got to go now, Russ. Let's.
You got it, boss. You got it, boss.
Be back tomorrow, though. Right?
So Julio, that's a yay on my part. I'd love to have that cat, man. That'd be amazing. So, if we do, cool. If not, then hey, it wasn't meant to be. So, Ronbo, have a good night, sir. Good night, fam, and God bless everyone, and take care, sir.
Thanks, fam. Appreciate you getting in there too.
All right, brother.
All right.
Yes, sir. Bye.
And there's my boy, the blues man himself, Tommy Huxley. McVay has a podcast called Flying Coach. Who the hell cares? He ain't no superhero. Tommy, thanks for that contribution to comedy. We got next. Oh, God. Oh, of course, it is that man, Mrs. Lewis's baby boy, one of two, that she had at the same time. It's Shay. Oh, Shay. Oh, Shay. Here we go. Oh, Shay. Maybe Shay might. I think Shay's tied up with the baby. We'll come back to him. Shay's gonna work it out. And you get. And we go to the other dad. Let's get Alice.
Ronbo.
Alice, man. Every time you open up, you go into your device and you look for your dailies on the 49ers, and first name that pops up is Julio. And I said to myself today, you know what? I don't know, man. It's wearing me out. I don't know if I really care if Julio comes anymore. When it's fresh, yeah. Now it's stupid. He'd make a difference. He would. There ain't no doubt about it. We could pretty much pencil in the 49ers right now as being the NFC champion or in the NFC championship game. I don't care what they're doing in L.A. It wouldn't be enough. But Ellis, we have some people, Jalen Hurd and Jawan Jennings, sounds like they might plug a void that we're all worried about. What how you going to do? I mean, is this going to be okay with you if we don't get Julio?
What you said? What Jawan?
Yeah, no, Grant said Jawan is looking like the
Said
real
somebody,
deal.
Jay. Who was that, fam?
Also, Jalen Hurd. Okay, our Jawan Jennings and Jalen Hurd versus, and do they both equal one Julio Jones? I shouldn't even ask that question because they don't. Well, Ellis, you take it from there.
Yeah, the problem I think all with this Ronbo is that we gave up capital, in the draft. We gave up picks for Emmanuel. We gave up picks, 2 picks for Emmanuel Sanders, and then we gave up a second, or was it a third round? What did we give? What did we give the Redskins for Trent?
I know, right? We have been. Now that you point that out, we've been taking a bath on these picks.
We've been coughing up. We've been coughing up a lot of players. We probably could have had about 4 more players, in this draft by now. Probably some guys that we all, were really looking forward to having on the team. And so, I think that's the only thing that I kind of feel like it's like, the draft capital and us having to continue to compromise that. And I mean, man, Julio Jones, it don't get no better than that. You look at his stats, man, he's proven.
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah, 100%. So it's kind of like, I just hate getting guys on the back end or the last couple of years of their, I like to get them when they're really doing well. And I just kind of feel like I heard about the Julio's hamstring issues and just little light stuff. I just don't want us to be having where we playing pity pat with him and Debo in their hammies or just, I just don't want us to have any issues. And then if we're compromising draft capital and then we're making room for them, financially, and on top of that, putting some other guys kind of on the back burner, what's that leave for Richie James? What does that leave for, Jalen Hurd? What does that leave for the other guys we got on the roster? And I feel like Richie James has been overdue on getting an actual opportunity. You know what I mean? Putting him in the spot to, actually be successful for real, and not just, these little flashes that we keep getting. When Kyle decides.
Never let him out there for any length of time. Yeah, Alice, you brought up a point I want to get your opinion on real quick as well. What did you feel about Randy Moss when he signed with the 49ers a few years ago when we was on that Super Bowl run? I had mixed emotions about that. Like you're saying, on the back end of his career, Randy didn't do anything for us that year. Not really.
Nope. He caught a couple of passes. I mean, but shit, he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He's supposed to do that,
Yeah.
But he's supposed to catch at least a couple, But that's a great example. That's a great example right there, Ronbo.
I tell you.
But the thing of it is we're talking about Julio Jones here, and Julio Jones and Randy Moss at that time when we got Randy, I think it's two totally different players.
Things. That's true. Julio can still play at a high level. Yeah.
Yeah, at a very high level, and I mean, a vicious, an extreme level. He just gave it to us last year with that goal line stuff. A couple of years ago with that goal line thing, and that stuff still haunts me to this day.
Yeah.
But that was where he gave us the business that game.
Because you knew he was going to at some point.
That game.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm concerned about the draft. Capital that we be compromising that more than even the cap. Because his cap and his number is a lot more manageable, than I think us continuing to compromise future draft picks when we're already out, a couple. And, you know what I mean? If what are they going to want? A second? They want a first round? We're not going to give them a first round for Julio Jones. I love Julio, but hell to the no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
We can't do that, fam. So, a third or fourth and, a player. And I mean, even that's kind of like, okay, what player? Exactly. You know what I mean?
And it ain't going to be somebody you don't mind giving up. And you know this. It's going to be somebody who's, oh, no. And, and that's no.
Yeah. So like Raheem Mostert, for instance, just an example. Raheem in a third-round draft pick. We might feel I think there'd be a lot of us that might feel like that was not a good move. Just considering, just the fact that we didn't actually get to fully execute and utilize. Yeah, and they need a
running back
right now.
And they'd want our best running back, because you could give him Trey Sermon, who shows a lot of promise, Wayne Gallman, they're not interested in Gallman. That's all we have to offer as far as running backs, because the rest of them are just unproven kids, and they got to prove themselves. So, yeah, we don't
Right.
I don't know what we'd be giving them. We're not giving them Fred Warner. We're not giving them we're definitely not giving them our edge rushing maniac. So, I don't know what they're going to do. And they're going to, I hope they wait
Yeah.
till the last day of May, though, and they have to do something. Ellis, they don't have any money to sign their draft picks. They have to do something or cut him. And even if they cut him, it's going to cost them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, fam. So, I just would I feel like, Julio's, wherever he's going to go, man, I feel like it's between us and the Patriots. Honestly, just looking at things, I feel like Belichick wants to try to go for the gold this year. He's pissed. He spent a lot of money. I don't even know if they can afford Julio at this point, though, but he still might have some chips left. I think they probably still got a nice little, a nice few little chips in their pocket.
Belichick, that's crazy. They went all out. They got the best tight end combo in the league, looks like right now, and they got several other. They took Kendrick away from us. They still need one. It's rumored they still need one chip. This is it, a wide receiver, and they're going to get Tom Brady, according to what they're thinking.
Right. Exactly.
Ooh. Ellis, we got to go, though, fam. Hey, let's see what develops between now and tomorrow. I'll be looking for you.
Yes, sir, brother Ronbo. Thank you for the platform as always.
My pleasure, man.
Shout out to all the good guys out there, ladies and gentlemen, man. Y'all have a blessed night, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe, man, because we try to go to 50K before the end of the year.
Thanks, Ellis.
Peace and love, brother.
Back at you,
always,
fam.
fam.
Night, Ellis. Oh, good. And the 49ers Ultimate Report says the real 49ers Ultimate Report letting Rams fans know that Stafford will have a tough first year with Shanahan's offense that McVay uses, and Niners all day. See, in fact, I can't wait to see Matt Stafford, and I know Nick Bosa's looking forward to it. Are we going back and check on Shay? Shay?
Hello?
Shay, is everything okay? Should we call 911?
Oh yeah, that's my nephew. He just woke up from his nap. He's upset.
He wakes up like some other people I know. He's not
right?
happy. Yeah.
He's not. When he wakes up from a nap, it's dinner time though, so he's got to eat.
That'll work. Shay, hey,
Right.
Shay, man, I saw a comment you made about Julio, and I know you're a Julio fan. All of us are Julio fans. But Shay,
Right.
we need to prepare, embrace ourselves for disappointment. You know why? Because if he comes, we could go nuts. But to put the hopes up too high is kind of. What do you think of the Julio thing?
No, Ronbo. I mean, I think I'm a big fan of Julio. I mean, Julio and Kyle's system is something you dream about, right?
Straight
but,
money.
Listen, you just got to take everything in perspective, right? I mean, if you look at the whole picture, and then you want to make a judgment, or you want to make a decision on him, then do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do it for Julio, but obviously there would be some type of hesitancy to do it, simply due to the fact that if he balls, right, he knows the system.
Yep.
He's going to come and contribute immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if you put him on the Niners roster, he's either one or two, depending on how good IU season goes. But he's going to be the number one starting, right?
Right.
Wide receiver, and as the season fluctuates, we'll see who is 1 and 2. But Julio will be fighting for the second or first on the 49ers, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does really well, Ronbo, the problem is he's probably going to want more money after that, and he's going to be like, well, I'm getting paid 15-something mil. When I'm still contributing as a top, 10 receiver in the league, top 15 receiver in the league. And
I know exactly where you're going with this. Yep. The Emmanuel Sanders,
he's hold out before. So exactly. So, and if he wants to hold out, then that's going to be a problem because we just gave up capital to acquire him. I don't think that it's going to take a first, because if it was a first, they would have traded him before the June 1st. They'll save a little money, but they would have traded him before if somebody offered him a first in the draft. But nobody did.
I thought that was a lie too.
He's an aging wide receiver. Yeah, he's an aging wide receiver. Yes, he's still Julio, and he's not as dominant as he used to, but he's still a good wide receiver in the league. He could come in and contribute immediately. I think it would be better to acquire him. It would be a better, obviously a better acquisition than we did for Sanders, right? Just because the talent is drastic. Julio is just a cut above right now. But the thing is you got to take the whole totality, or you got to look at the bigger picture of what's going to happen if he does ball, right? Let's say he does, and then he's going to be like, well, let's get into a contract extension. Well, it's like, hold up, we can't really pay you because we got everybody else's contracts coming up. Most is coming up a couple years. We're still going to try to sign Warner this year. So you got a lot of guys, Ayuk's eventually. So, it's like, you're 32. Do we really want to put that on the books for, another 3 to 4 more years? So I would do it for a talent aspect. Obviously, I think he's a baller, but you got to look at everything. And, if you look at Cal's track record, yes, the 49ers are in on Julio Jones. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, the Niners don't link, but you could just look at Cal's track record. I mean, we got Trent Williams, right? We traded for him. Knows the system, scheme, former player. From days from when he was the coach when he stepped in. Getting Brian Hoyer, Tevin Coleman, all these guys. He loves getting his guys that he already knows the system. Alex Mack we just signed. So we've seen him go, back into the dipping pool, wanting to wait for Kirk Cousins, when the season ended and wanted to get him. So we've seen Kyle want to get his players back. And there's no doubt that this is probably the best receiver he's had or that he's coached, right? When he was an offensive coordinator. And he's like, yeah, why not?
He's had no receiver that came up with that kind of production.
Again, you just got to look at the bigger picture.
And Shay,
so yeah, you just got to look at the bigger picture.
And Shay, you hit upon every last thing. When they're sitting in that big room discussing that, you hit upon everything. They've got to be concerned about what happens at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, if we learned anything from the Emmanuel Sanders deal is it backfired at the end of the season. We weren't able to keep him, so we spent 2 draft picks for, what was it, 8, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, and then you can't spend a second and a third, and that's all you get back in return. Julio would cost a second and a future, a second, third, and a future something else.
Second, third, second, 5, something. Yeah. You're right, Ronbo. But you're right. I mean, but that, like again, the Niners. I think the Niners would have the best offense immediately if they acquire him, right? But it's just, if we look further down the line, what happens?
Yes.
When Julio decides,
Shay, how do you pay him?
I balled and I want money now.
That's what I'm saying. How do you pay him? What do you tell him? Julio, please don't go.
Exactly.
You can't sing that song to him. He doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
So it's a scary situation.
Exactly. So just food for thought. But yeah, Ronbo, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I would love to have him. If we don't, though, I still think the Niners have a solid roster, and that just that's money that's going to be allocated to Bosa if he doesn't come. Just things like that. You just got to think about the bigger, the grand scheme of things, and the people that are due to be paid next, right? So but yeah, without a doubt, I would love to have him. But if it doesn't happen, Ronbo, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. There's going to be, but Ronbo, just remember, there's going to be a lot of movement post June 1st, though. I mean, I know Phil's been telling you, but I've been telling you, Lee's been telling you. Once that June 1st comes, there are going to be a lot of players cut that you can see, like, oh, he's really telling. Oh, I didn't see him being cut. Oh, wow, I can't believe they released him. Because they're trying to save money. So.
And from what you just said, too, 49ers have already signed Julio, and they're going to take up his salary, and they've already started renegotiating his next contract. And it is set to be a $22 million annually. But haven't told us how many years yet. And we're going to be sitting there saying, whoa. He's 32, Kyle. Wow, what's up?
Right.
Are you going to be able to sign Fred? Right. First thing we're going to say, you going to be able to sign Fred? Because no matter what, we love Julio, love what he can bring to the table. But if we're not going to keep Fred, we're not going to keep Nick, we're going to lose anybody, we're not going for that, man.
Right.
I mean, it's a scary thing. Rock and a hard place, is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, right. Debo, Ayuk. I mean, to me, Debo's before Nick because, remember, Nick still has a 5th-year option if they decide not to re-sign him during the contract. But Debo was a second-round pick, so he's up in 4. So he's already been here for 2 years, so he got 2 more years left. You're going to tell me – now, some people are like, I don't know about Debo. But my thing is, like, you're going to pick an aging 32-year-old, wide receiver that is producing, but over, Debo, who is an extension of the run game. He can do it all. He's developing as a better wide receiver. You don't know, so –
That's it. That's too many more. That's too many extra years, Shay. That's a scary deal.
Yeah.
We'll see how they work it out.
It is.
Good stuff as usual,
Absolutely.
Shay. Say hello to your nephew.
No problem, brother.
I hope he's eating now.
I will.
He's quiet.
He's good now. Got some food in him now. So he's quiet now. But all right, Ronbo. Shout out to TNT. Shout out to production. Thank you, brother.
All right,
have
man.
a good night, brother.
You too. Thanks, Shay. Yeah. See, the Julio thing. There's a lot of. It's rough. It needs sanding down, buffed and varnished. The whole deal is like real scary, man. Emilio.
Ouch.
Emilio?
Yeah.
Emilio, man, Emilio's a very rational, logical person, so I know how he's going to. I already know what he's going to say. But Emilio, let me talk for you. It don't make me no difference. Immediately, I mean, 49ers can sign whoever they want to do as long as they know what they're doing. Now, if he gets in here and gets hurt, well, they going to have a problem. And if he gets in here and goes to the Super Bowl and wins it and gets MVP, they still got a problem. Am I right? Are you working along that thought line? Because they can't pay him. Julio be standing there. Man, the only reason y'all won the Super Bowl is because Julio did it. What do you want? I need 25 mil a year. Okay.
That's not going to happen. Not for him.
I know. So it's a scary thing.
Hey, they already paying Jimmy 25, and he does more than Jimmy. He's going to pay receiver $25 million. He was not going to pay not one receiver in the NFL not $25 million.
And they'd have to drop him. Julio, and we'd have a 1-year rental for all that trade capital, because I don't know what they give up for.
What they can do, and I think teams do is you know how what we did with Quan Alexander, and we had to pay a portion of his salary.
Oh yeah, share the cost.
I think that's Falcons would have to do that, but then they can't pay nobody anyway. So
no, that's what the Falcons don't want. They want you to take this bill out of here. Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I don't see that. They're gonna have to cut players. He might be one of the ones they cut, because if they really can't pay nobody, and they're over, how much are they over the salary?
I don't know. They can't. They can't even play their draft picks. I don't even know how many draft picks they brought in, but they can't pay them. What are you gonna do? Has this ever happened before?
No.
Has somebody said they had to get rid of the draft picks because they didn't have any money? Wow.
No, you don't get rid of draft picks. Because we went through the same scenario not too long ago. We couldn't sign nobody either when we had all this money problems. When everybody had left, the Harbaugh year, I can't remember. It was when we couldn't pay nobody either, and then they figured it out. They re-signed players, let go players, and we went. Eventually, I think they're just waiting for June 1st, and they're going to restructure everything. Because that's the only scenario they have, is just cutting players and restructuring everybody.
They can't. You know what? They can't really wait. For that. That's why everybody's going to wait them out. Everybody's going to wait till midnight, May 31st, and get Nathaniel Cranshaw. Warn him. Nathaniel, don't spam. I got him. Okay. Yeah, Nathaniel Cranshaw. Yeah. This is the thing. What everybody can do is wait them out until the 29th, 30th, whenever they are. See if they're bluffing. They're not going to cut Julio because somebody would get fired. So I wonder what they're going to do.
Not necessarily. If you can't pay your top player and you can't, one of your top players, you're going to have to figure something out. Either he's going to have to restructure his contract, or they're going to have to let him go. Because if you can't pay the guy, what are you going to do?
I know.
Unless you're going to be, like the Rams only got 2 top players and they're getting overpaid, then you ain't going to have no money either. The Rams are going on that scenario too. They're close enough to it too. They're about to be dealing with it next year or so.
That's just piss poor management. But the Rams are picked, Emilio, by a lot of people to win the NFC West. If that happens, I'm going to be mad as hell. And Rudy's going to be running around here owning the chat. It ain't going to happen. It better not happen. It's not going to happen.
Well, you got to think about it. Winning the division really doesn't mean a damn thing. It's about getting to the Super Bowl. If you can't get there, it doesn't mean it. You just win. Right? You won a division doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, we won to the division 2 years ago, and what did
we almost?
Nothing. We didn't win the Super Bowl.
I know. And nobody remembers that you won the division. If you go back 10 years, and you had to really rattle off 2-1 the NFC West, it wouldn't be that hard. But nobody cares. That's the thing.
If you really want to go back to, we're the ones leading in division wins anyway, so it doesn't matter. So,
unfortunately, we'd have to say the Hawks. I think the Hawks won the division the most since 2013, right?
No, well, but if you want to go down the 49er history, 49ers won the most.
Oh, well, yeah.
Just recently, the Seahawks have won more, but other than that, no, it's just.
Yeah.
The past years has been the 49ers.
Yeah. Hawks don't even know they used to be in the AFC. They used to deal with the Raiders. Yeah, because Grayson hanging out. I bet you Grayson didn't know they used to be an AFC team. Grayson said he's only 27. You don't know. That's why I love asking. Every time I see a Hawks fan, you got a throwback jersey. Do you know anything about your history? Who's the best receiver you've ever had? Actually, he was one of the best receivers in NFL history. They don't know.
I forgot his name. I know I forgot his name. I just know he was number 80. I can't remember his name.
In the
I keep
all-time
forgetting
top
his name.
100. Yeah. Because when I was watching the Raiders, I used to always laugh because he'd eat the Raiders up. But yeah, and also they had a great quarterback too, a left-hander. But you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to deal with.
No, but that I mean, it'd be good to get Julio. I'm not knocking it, but it's just at this point, it's just you're getting a little older. You got to really think about it. What does he really have? About 2 years? I mean, great, we win a Super Bowl.
Of real productivity, yeah.
Skip us it, so it's just to me.
Steve Largent.
What's the point?
Thanks, Eddie
honestly, what's the point?
Yeah, Steve Largent, who's we were
I mean,
thinking about.
Okay.
No, say it again. I'm sorry.
To me, what's the point of getting Julio? I mean, we might as well do what we got and go from there. Like I said, I'm not saying it would be great help, but like
you know the 49ers are.
It'd be different. It'd be great if he was maybe 2 or 3 years younger, but no, he's getting to the point where he's been injured. He's been injured the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, it's about this Super Bowl run. 49ers are looking spotlighting vets and carrying on, so we know.
No, I get it. I mean, like I said, it would help if we know we're going, and because even Shanahan said it, he's like, man, if we're going to feel like we're going to the Super Bowl, why not do it? All in 1 year, forget it. But then you think about it. They got it looks like the Falcons won a number 2 draft pick, but at that point, you really we're not going to have anything at that point. Like I said, we already don't have no number 1. You want to
got no number 1, no number 2. Start looking like the Rams.
So,
we ran out of time, fam. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'll be back because I need some more information on what happened in camp today. It's very strange. No reports. All right, fam.
Yeah. No, I guess the reporters weren't there today, so they was in report. I think they're doing once a week. I think so far.
Yeah, they were scheduled to be there. So I guess not. Yeah, all right.
So, I don't know.
All right, Emilio.
Maybe hear something later, but yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, fam. Have a good night.
Good night. I'll holler at you.
Yeah, looking forward.
All right. You too. Good night.
And hey, Casey comes in with the Sunshine Band. Casey.
Ronbo, what's shaking?
Casey, we're discussing the Julio thing, and the media's having fun spinning things to keep themselves busy, right? So anybody, and in fact,
sure.
I want anybody that's really, we learned something about Casey. We learned a lot about the media over this past. They're shameless. They will say things to get attention. They don't care the repercussions. They won't even apologize later. This thing about that the Falcons are demanding a first-round pick is probably pure folly. The Falcons know they can't get a first round, and they're in no position to ask for a first-round pick. Here on May the 27th, they have a few days left before things get really bad. They can't even pay their draft picks. So why toy with this? Do it. Give the 49ers this guy if you want him, and give it to somebody something they can stand to pay, or Belichick, or whoever they're dealing with. Stop clowning, and the media can shut up. Bobby, what do you think? Are you going to be okay if we don't get Julio?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they really have a chance of Julio. They traded everything for Trey this year. I think they definitely need someone like Julio. I think they need someone like Julio quick. Because if you look at the numbers, Debo and even George haven't really brought double-digit touchdowns yet consistently.
So,
they're all proven players.
But Julio was the number one. He wasn't their top touchdown guy.
Stacked, but they need to, they still need the true number one. The more I think about it, the more I think Brandon Ayuk's going to be that person.
Yeah, I know, right? I agree.
He looks great. He looks really good. And he's got the endorsement of Jerry. And, I think he could bring that energy that Kendrick kind of brought last year, too.
Oh, he'd bring more than Kendrick's energy. Kendrick brought energy.
Maybe a little bit less focused on the attire.
Yeah, and the dance at the end of the touchdown. If anybody does that this year on behalf of missing Kendrick, I think I'll lose my mind laughing. Kendrick got some great dance moves, though. Guy can definitely boogie.
Yeah. No, and you know what? Kendrick's a vet. He became a vet last year. We both agree.
Yeah. So he deserved to get paid.
Man, I'm upset about Jeff Wilson, man. They need to get a new strength and conditioning coach. They need to relook at their dietitians. They need to figure out what the hell they're doing, because there's a pattern of people getting hurt This report says that Jeff Wilson had his knee blown out standing up from the table. I mean, Ronbo, like, are we just gonna injuries happen, like, that's part of the game? Like no, like, this isn't part of the game. This doesn't happen to every team, and what the hell is going on? Because
why
now
always?
They're just gonna rush Jeff Wilson back to go run head first into the Seattle Seahawks goal line stand. I mean.
Well, that's how weird it is, though, Casey. If he can't stand up without tearing his meniscus, how did he get away with doing the things he did in the last couple of years?
I think it boils down to the diet. They're eating too much chicken or something. I don't know what's going on, man. But
oh, come on, not chicken.
There's a pattern here.
I like chicken. We should eat more fish, though. But, still. God.
I'll tell you what, Ronbo, as a vegetarian, I can tell you right now, it's not the alkaline watermelon, Ronbo. I'll tell you right now. Look, Ronbo, man, I'm a big guy, Ronbo, and I've lost a lot of weight in my life. I've never broken a bone. I've never stood up from the table and torn my meniscus. And, I mean, I don't know what these guys are doing, man. And, they're squatting too much weight or something, man. I don't know what's going on, Ronbo.
There's something to that, and that's why guys should wrap their knees when they're doing heavy squats. I don't wrap my knees.
Jeff
Okay,
Wilson,
go ahead,
man,
be macho.
contact
Soon that
here,
knee's gonna go out.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah,
they're just gonna rush Jeff back, man, and we're just gonna be like, Jeff's gonna be back at, like, it says week 8 he could come back. Okay, week 6 Jeff is there, and it's just gonna be like, I just want the team to have one good full season, man.
Casey, there'll be room for him. Because you know what? What you just said is probably not going to stop. We're going to be out of running backs. We run out of running backs by the week 16, 15, 14,
when
every
the
year.
Levi's contract is up and they have to move back to San Francisco. Oh, man, Ronbo, what's going on? They were 1-7 at home last year, Ronbo. Do people realize what's going on? This isn't just like, we went to the Super Bowl. And no, like, I mean, that was crazy. Like,
Casey, if I had
they
my
were the
way,
best team all year that year.
I agree. In case if I had my way, we'd be building a facility out in Daly City. There's lots of space out there. I don't like where they are. There's some cursed thing going on with that
either.
area.
It doesn't have a good.
Come on.
They need to put some like large obsidian stones around the place and like bless the place or something and
burn
get the
incense
juju
outside.
going.
Something.
It doesn't have like. You know what, though? At the NFC Championship, it had a vibe. It felt like Candlestick that night,
I know, but I'm just wondering why there's something going on that they can't avoid injuries. I really think I'm a superstitious guy to a really bad degree. I really
Ronbo,
do believe in these things.
that kind of brings me to something I'd like to say. They were the best team that whole year, Ronbo, and I'll say it to my grave. They played the Kansas City Zebras that year. But, Ronbo, man, they were the best team that whole year. We watched them through the Super Bowl until the final minutes, man. And, that was the last season I saw with my dad. My dad actually passed a year ago today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I lost both my parents last year. So this next season, man, we got to get the good juju, Ronbo. We got to get the starter jackets week 1, man. You know what I mean?
So,
man, they got the window, man.
We got to get over this hurdle. I don't know what it is. You have to bring an exorcist in or something, but something's wrong with Levi's Stadium. So we're going to see.
What's crazy, too, is the longer this goes on, the better the Harbaugh era gets.
At least we spent some good quality time out there.
You look at those old players like Justin Smith and Navarro and Pat and Andy B. Ronbo, these guys are Titans, man. Like, it's not easy, man. Trey's a good player, man, but Trey's got to learn the system. And, Jimmy's got to ball out. They just, it's a tough league. So
it's scary looking forward. J. Case, we got to go, though, fam. I'm gonna see you probably tomorrow. Let's see what develops between now and then. All right?
Please, Ronbo.
All right.
Take it easy, brother.
You too, fam.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
Hey, Jay.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, we're sitting here. We're going over. It's a group hug night, right? Because people keep yelling, screaming at us about Julio, and we all know what Julio would do to this team overnight. Julio can come in. All he'll be doing is changing clothes because he already knows Kyle Shanahan and what to do. And that would be like the ultimate thing. We got a number 1 receiver, finally, and he knows what he's doing. What in the world would stop the 49ers from total domination? And they know this. So, but they ain't got no draft picks, and we cannot afford to pay Julio next year. We could pay him this year, but next year gets a little sticky because You don't want to have to tell Fred, listen, can you do us a favor? No. Okay, but, we had to get Julio, because we have a ring now. You're wearing a ring, and that's largely due to him. It's not my business, Kyle, So, I don't know where this is going. So, we'll see what's happening. If the 49ers do get Julio, we're all going to be excited, but at the same time scared. I can see it. How are you going to feel?
Well, Ronbo, I mean, if everything works out where we can get him, I'm all for it. Julio he's a beast, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to waste our future to get, a 32 wide receiver either. So if they got in the books where they can, work something out where they can get him and live for nothing, then I'm all for it. But I'm not trying to waste our, hurt our team to try to just get this one Super Bowl and we might not able to get, so.
Well, what if Julio goes down like Jamal Adams over in Seattle and we gave up a second-round pick, so next year we don't have a first round, we don't have a second round? They're going to probably ask for a third round, and we just go on and on with that, and there we are.
Right, and then we're going to be like the the Rams. And we ain't trying to be like the Rams.
No.
We are right. We're trying to run this team where we can win multiple Super Bowls.
And keep
not
the
just
window
trying to get this one
open.
Super Bowl. You're right.
Yeah.
Right, and still have young players. You know what I'm saying?
Developing.
Don't get it wrong. Having Julio will be a monster.
I know.
For real. If he can stay healthy and way Kyle runs that them plays, man, it'd be lethal. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like this too, Ronbo. I want us to win multiple Super Bowls. I'm looking at the future instead of looking now.
Yep.
And we can't look at now and say, oh, this is, you got to look
forward.
You got to look. Yeah, you got to look forward because we already trade.
Yeah,
we already traded number one picks.
It's it,
right.
And it's gone, and you get ready to second. So what with Jay is you're going into the parking lot. You should have went out and got something you could afford. You went out and got a Maserati. Now you got to sell your house. See, so this is the thing.
Right.
You got to be careful what you're doing here. Yeah.
Exactly, because you know what I'm saying. Now you're gonna have to live in the Maserati.
Right.
It can't afford the maintenance on that mug. You know what I'm saying? So
wait, but Russo, I'm talking about his contract. I think it expires this. Yeah, we got to rewrite him a contract.
Right, and and plus, people, you gotta also think about our future too. Not only our draft picks, but our future players. Our players now whose future contract is going to be ending.
You got
to have money for them. You got to have money for them. They're younger. Julio's, you know what I'm saying, maybe got 3 good years in them, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
That's a stretch.
So,
2 for sure, but 3 would be more,
right. Exactly. So why would you, do something like that? You just moving backwards. Like I said, we're not the Rams. We ain't running our organization like the Rams. We trying to win multiple Super Bowls. They trying to win that one. You know what I'm saying? We trying to win multiple Super Bowls. That's why we drafted Trey Lance. And you know what I'm saying? And we're trying to build for the future. And we already drafted, traded 2 number ones. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. We cannot afford to do that.
Because I want to contend every year.
Costly.
Yeah, contend.
Correct.
What we don't want is to be the Hawks, though. They contend every year and end up going to the first round of the playoffs.
And get put out in the first round.
No. We got to be potent.
Yeah, so, right. We got to be potent. We got to go. We want to get to the Super Bowl, and we want to win it. We ain't trying to go to the Super Bowl to lose it. We want to go to the Super Bowl and win it. It's been a long enough time since our team has not won the Super Bowl, and we've been there twice since then.
And Jay, both times we're standing right there at the door to win it.
Yes.
Both times.
Sniffing it.
We
sniffing the trophy. Right. And it's just like when how you make that beautiful sandwich, Ronbo, and then the sandwich falls and hit the ground, and you ain't even get a bite of it. You know what I'm saying?
If nobody's
like
looking,
that.
I'll pick it up and put it back together. I know exactly what you mean, though. You go through all the trouble of going through this route, going through this, and you got there and didn't finish. Oh, man. Yeah.
Right.
It's a scary situation.
But I was, to be honest with you, to answer your question, Ronbo, I would love to have Julio Jones. I think it's going to be a little too pricey for us. By trade, if we didn't trade our picks, I would have been saying, yeah, let's try to go for it.
Yeah. Because now, God, wouldn't it have been nice?
So,
I mean, I like our new quarterback, and he's probably going to be good. But if we could have stayed at 12 and moved, well, the Atlanta Falcons were going to take. I wasn't going to get Pitts anyway, but you wouldn't have had to trade.
No, we could have. Yeah, we could have traded. We could have traded. Right? We could have traded him with ease, and that would have been, you know what I'm saying. But two, he's 32. So would you really want to trade your number one for 32?
No, that's why I know somebody's lying.
Right.
Somebody's lying.
Right. So
nobody's gonna give a first round pick for Julio.
No, that's just, I would give a third. You know what I'm saying? And if he was like early, like when he was like 25, yeah. In a heartbeat, I would trade a number one pick.
First, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? But not when he's 32. You know what I'm saying? And he's declining because he's been injured last year. So he's still a beast. But you know what I'm saying? He's not the Julio Jones.
Yeah, he's a
coach.
You
know what I'm saying?
He's a lead star, but he's got to have a supporting cast. Before he didn't. Jay, too much fun. We got to go, Jay. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Ronbo. Yes, sir, Ronbo. Appreciate what you do, brother.
Thanks, man.
Always a pleasure talking to you, man.
Yeah, same here, man. I feel the same way. All right, man. Let's see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right,
see you
Jay.
Bye.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I don't feel like cooking it, honey.
We got to learn to close the mic. Jay's talking to his wife. Tony!
Ronbo!
Tony, come on in, man. Let's continue where you left off yesterday. Yeah, we're there's this thing we got going on with Julio Jones. I think we're getting way too attached. I mean, Tony, feelings are going to get hurt here in a minute. I think there's somebody lying about the Falcons demanding a first-round pick. Okay, but so be it. And if that was true, why don't they just pull the trigger on it rather than wait over the weekend for the rumors now? And the deal could take place as early as next week. Duh, that's June 1st. So if they're going to do it, they better do it if they can save money. It's a big joke. But, Tony, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Well, let me try and put you at ease a little bit.
All right.
Can we, with this team that we've got, all right, I'm going to ask you one question. Can we get the first and goal?
I believe so.
Okay, so we're at first and goal. So my idea is this. Obviously, I'm not Kyle Shanahan, but we haven't had players that tall dudes in the end zone for a long time that could go up for the jump ball, right?
True.
But now we've got. I hope he's 100% healthy. But we can, we're at first and goal. You can put Jalen Hurd in one corner and Mohamed Sanu in the other corner, and then you've got Debo, you've got Ayuk, you can bring in Ross Dwelly, you've got Kittle. Who are they going to mark first? And you've got the two guys in the corner that can go up for the jump ball as well. I don't think we've got anything to worry about. That's
an interesting question, though, Tony. Of those players, the players Tony just mentioned, who are they going to try to stop first? You know what? I guess my guess on that, I know what you're talking about, but that was intriguing, Tony. My guess would be Kittle, but maybe, I like that. So we don't really, but you're getting ready to say, though, why is Julio such a necessity, right?
Well, look, everybody knows that Kyle likes his guys and things like that, and probably he would be able to unleash Julio Jones like nobody else.
Well, yeah,
no other coach can.
His best season was with
Kyle.
If
we're looking
I know it's not going to happen, but if we're looking for a cheap running back, why don't we just go for the running back that keeps on giving and bring Frank Gore back? Let him finish up at the Niners.
Oh, and Tony, would you give Mostert? Would you send him to Atlanta if you could get Julio back?
No.
You didn't even hesitate on that answer.
No.
Somebody mentioned that earlier. I think that might get it done. They'd have to share the cost because Mostert doesn't get paid anywhere near Julio money. So I wonder.
Yeah, but he's useful in other areas on the ballpark. You know what I mean? Most of it takes off. No one's going to catch him.
That's true. And he's not going to be running full speed. Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah, I can't
Well,
I can't deal with that.
Get that dude from Mexico, just stand in there. He's 6'9". Just put your hands in the air. Who's going to jump up? All he has to do is catch the ball.
I wish they let him play this year. I want to see what he looks like out there. But you're right. The Julio, it's intriguing. There's so many pros and there's so many cons. I don't even know which would outnumber the other. If you put it on a scale, what would go on with the Julio thing? Tony, the ramifications come in the future. If Julio is going to be with us only for one season and we can't afford him beyond that, then it's ridiculous to make a deal for him that's going to be too costly. That's the problem.
I totally agree. I think on any given team, you have to keep your D-line and your O-line. They're the key players, like you say all the time, in the trenches. And if you can keep them signed up, you can always get guys that can run fast and catch a ball.
True.
And Shanahan and our front office are experts at picking them at 5th round, 6th round. You know what I mean? I don't have any problems with that. But just like I said, look, if you're at the goal line, just picture yourself who's running around. And if you've got Jalen Hurd in one corner and Mohamed Sanu in the other, you've got two guys that can go up with a jump ball. The other guys are more than capable of taking the ball across the line.
You know what? You run all those receivers in that goal line stand. I'm giving the ball to Mostert.
You got Juwan Jennings.
Right. You got diversionary tactics, and Kyle is so good with that cloak and dagger football he likes to play. The defense would already be, the DC would you could see him throw his headset on the ground and walk back to the locker room and quit, Because there's nothing he can do, because Kyle's going to make a fool out of, every year Kyle makes a fool out of several DCs, and he gets this assembly of talent. It would be they'd be taking Kyle to court behind. I mean, he just can't. Wow, defamation of character.
How many times does Kyle? Ask yourself another question? How many times does Kyle go down the field to first and goal and doesn't score?
Yeah, that's. And
that's very, very rare.
Growing pain, though. I think this team now, that red zone thing we've been having. Tony, tell me if you agree with this or not. The 49ers have actually been building legitimately offensively only since 2018. And then that fell through when Jimmy got hurt. But 2017, obviously, they had the quarterback they needed to win. 2018, he gets hurt, and his growth stops. 2019, he comes, and for reasons that are easy to see, the team gets to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know all about the stuff with the defense, everybody likes to say, but Garoppolo actually threw for 3,000 yards. He was 20 short. Fact of the matter is, he probably threw way over that if we had a better offensive situation going on with the wide receivers dropping things, and George Kittle had 2 touchdowns called back. It goes on and on. He actually passed way over 4,000 yards. It was yak yards. It doesn't matter. The quarterback's got to put the ball in the hands of that guy. So, this is what I'm saying. At this point, they are ready.
There's another thing that you said that just tripped my brain. We've got a lot of people that are yak masters, all right? And yak is a really important part of the game for me. I don't know for anybody else, but if you got yak masters on your team, they're going to get you to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be an interesting year, but I don't think we've got anything to worry about. And Kyle can dial up plays, to make people look embarrassing. And I agree with what the other people are saying. I think we should concentrate on our future and worry about Fred Warner and the rest of the Bosa and the rest of the boys.
I agree, and we'll be fine because you know what? We'll
be fine. Don't worry about it.
Johnny, we're going to go. I'll look for you tomorrow. Pretty sure. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here today. I'm trying to wonder what happened to the report today. But, okay. Looking forward to
All
hearing
right,
from you.
brother. Shout out to everyone and catch you in the next chapter.
All right. Looking forward. Night, Tony. A good day,
See
Tony.
you, mate.
I keep forgetting Tony's in the daylight right now. All right, Tony. Wait a minute.
See you, bud.
All right. Wait a minute. There's only one caller that calls here by the name of Rudy. Can it be that, Rudy? And what could he possibly want? Rudy.
Ronbo.
Yeah. Rudy, I'm listening, yes. We're listening, yes.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you answered. I'm sorry. I was answering Tommy Huxley, the shoeshine boy. Hold on one second. Okay, so as I always do, I wanted to give some shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Tommy Huxley, the round third shoeshine boy. I want to give a shout-out to Duncan.
Rudy,
Yes.
Rudy, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you must have something to say. Go ahead. You can't take a shot at Tommy Huxley on the air.
I'll
You're a
be
Rams
right now.
fan.
I don't want to make him cry again, Ronbo. I don't want to make him cry again. But
All
okay.
right. Get
So
to
here
the
we
point.
go. So you're getting the Rudy. You're getting the me and Rudy. They always say I'm too nice when I call you. So I don't want to make him cry. But okay. So look, you guys. Like I always wish you guys health. You know, I hope you guys stay healthy. You just can't do it. I don't know if that stadium was built under poltergeist or whatever, but you know, your running back Wilson, the reason why they drafted a running back, it turns out, is because the dude stood up, turned to his left, according to Grant Cohn, and he tore his knee. Wow. You know, do you guys have any strength and conditioning coaches? You know, you guys have 12 to 15 players that are injury prone, you know, key players, you know, so you can't draft guys that have injury problems and then expect them to be healthy. So all these, what if we stay healthy, if we stay healthy? Well, no, because that's not the history of these players. You're asking for something that's not going to happen. So like I said, I just want to put you guys in perspective. And the other caller was saying, well, we're not the Rams. Well, no, you're not the Rams, because the Rams could still have winning seasons while we try to get to the Super Bowl.
Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, we have injuries too, but we still win. We still have a winning record. You know, Cooper Kupp got hurt, but he wasn't injury prone. We took a chance on Gurley, and it worked out for a few years. But you know, nobody wishes injuries on anybody. But that's part of the reason with the 49ers.
Jared Goff. Last year's replacing quarterback that came in with all the speed was damn near killed during a playoff.
Well, Jared Goff, you got to tip your hat to the guy. You know, I was hoping he was going to stay with us and he was going to get to the next level. But, you know, the guy put screws in his thumb, and he got us through the division round. You know, Jimmy G can't even last 7 games back-to-back seasons.
The Rams' offensive line, this report just in, the Rams' offensive line has suffered yet another incident. And they'll be without starter this, starter that, and they will probably replace him with rookie.
Well, the offensive line, the Rams are ranked 6th in offensive line, so we're good there. You know, we don't have to worry about that. We're
ranked,
fine. But,
we're ranked higher than that.
But I want to just tell you one thing before I go, Ronbo. I know you got other callers.
I do.
You guys are asking about Julio. You don't have a quarterback to throw to Julio. You got Lance, who throws too high on 15 passes or more, too high, and then you got Garoppolo, who's not known to throw it deep, so you can't use Julio. He likes to get the ball deep. That's why he was complaining about being in Atlanta. The guy that he would love to play with is Stafford, because he throws missiles. He's got that rocket arm. He's going to be special. He's going to be special. So we'll see what happens. Troy Aikman even said.
Rudy, did you write all this stuff down before you came in here? Yeah.
Hey, Troy Aikman even said, you know, is Troy Aikman a pretty good knowledgeable about quarterbacks? He even said in McVay's offense, with that type of talent, he wouldn't be surprised if Stafford wins the MVP. That's Troy Aikman. That's not me, a Homer fan or whatever you like to call it. That's Troy Aikman.
Stafford is washed up, Rudy. Get out of here, dude.
I know nobody told Rudy. Matthew Stafford's on the back end of a career that never succeeded.
I'll tell you what. Let's put up Matthew Stafford's stats. Let's put up Matthew Stafford's stats compared to any quarterback you guys have in the Niners roster this year.
Listen, Rudy, here's the thing I don't understand about you. Jimmy G, who you're talking about with disrespect, has beat your ass every time he sees your team. What are you talking about?
Well, first of all, on that note, the guy, the one we beat you guys in 2018, he didn't play. He wasn't
Right.
there yet.
So that's
And
why
then
I'm
we
trying to
sat out because
understand,
we won the
where do you
division.
get off?
We
The
won
only
the
reason
division.
you
That's
won
the
is
only
because
reason
he
why
was
you
out.
guys lost.
Rudy,
Well, hopefully he would have played because then we probably would have beat you guys. Mullins
no,
and them
Rudy,
played better
your
than you
team
did.
cannot
The
beat the
guys at
49ers at full
Machine.
strength, and you know
We
this.
can't speak on probables.
Ronbo, let's look at it this way. You guys paid Jimmy G $80 million to play 23 games.
And to beat your ass every time he sees you, yes.
Well, hey, listen, even with those 2 wins, you guys still couldn't put together 7 wins together. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We handed you guys on a platter 2 wins, and it still doesn't help you guys make
Matthew
the playoffs.
Stafford is not wearing robes and a beard. He is not the Messiah. Listen, we're leaving.
But
we're leaving.
no, he don't have to be the
Cut it
Messiah,
off.
but he's an upgrade over
Yeah.
golf. You have to
Yes.
admit that. If you know anything about football, you understand that.
Well, no, let's just go ahead and take a bite. Hey, Tony. Tony from Atlanta. Tony, come on in, man.
Ronbo, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm putting up with Rudy and hecklers and guys. That, 49ers, Tony, that's why we appreciate you. We don't get a lot of respect. We got a new Raider fan running down. He's talking major trash. Tony, what do you think about John Gruden? Would you continue to go with Gruden for the next 2 or 3 years behind what we've already seen from him?
Well, didn't he sign that 10-year contract?
I laughed when they did that, too. Yeah, he did. How many years has it been?
It's been a few. I think this might be 5.
At least.
Coming up.
Yeah. And how many times have they been to the playoffs?
None.
Wait a minute. I think they went. Did they go once? What year was that when? Oh, no, that was the other coach. Remember when Carr broke his leg a few minutes before the playoffs? That wasn't Gruden, was it? That was the other guy they fired.
Nope.
Yeah. So John would. Let me hear you knock if you agree. If that's right, and they made some questionable draft picks, and yeah, so it's pretty funny.
You guys got 2 of them. You guys got 2 of them, the 2 defensive linemen, Arden Key and the kid from Michigan, the defensive tackle.
And how about the Clemson edge rusher? There was plenty of other edge rushers in that draft that year, and they went and got that Clemson rusher that I could not believe. I said, wow, he's okay, but he ain't all that. Yeah, Will Ferrell, yeah, right.
Ferrell.
Why you guys?
Yeah, he was like, what, the 4th or 5th player taken like the whole draft? And we ain't heard from him since.
I know, right? Texas boy makes limited visits in here because he gets his hat handed to him every time. Being a Cowboy fan right now is about the silliest thing you want to be. As long as Jerry Jones is running that club, it's just not a good thing.
Yep, it's like a circus. He's the ringleader.
Mm-hmm. And then the
hey,
Hawks.
Ronbo, Julio, I think somebody in your chat said Julio makes $25 million a year. No, he makes 23.5, which is still close to the same thing.
Yeah, it hurts you just as bad as 25.
Actually, DeAndre Hopkins makes more. Believe that?
Hey, how much? Wow. So maybe the Cardinals cannot afford Julio.
No, they signed AJ Green for 1 year, $8 million for AJ Green. So, because AJ Green made $18 million last year. A lot of people don't know that. 18.
AJ's just over there seeing if he can get a ring. Because you know what?
Exactly.
If he takes out time like he always does, he can sit back and relax and just watch some other guys get that ring for him.
And Ronbo, you know, I've told you this before, and I heard you say it to one of your callers. Man, the Falcons fan base, 60% of them are trash, man. They're just so unclassy, man. They really are. Now
Why you say that?
They want to burn the jersey. Julio leaving us. Julio doesn't owe y'all anything. He wants out, just like other people have said.
Yeah.
What makes him different?
So
you know, I mean, I'm disappointed, but it's not like he's the first person that ever said, I want to be traded.
Yeah, listen, Eddie Lynchman says Falcons have to pay Julio regardless. You know what? If any deal's being made with Julio, what's it going to cost the Falcons? I mean, what's the best they're going to be able to do, the maximum amount of savings on their end of the deal?
I know it cost us $15 million on the cap. After June 1st, that's the reason why they haven't traded him yet, because after June 1st, they will save on the cap. Like if we traded him to you guys or anybody, we will be paying part of his salary. I don't know how much though.
So this is pretty much the Falcons may have already made a deal quietly and somehow kept it hush-hush, and they'll consummate the deal on June 1st. That's probably what's going on.
It might be true. I heard tonight, one of my friends sent me a text, and I heard it on one of my blogs, that a team is offering a first-round pick for Julio, but no one knows who that team is.
I know, say.
And then this blog had Indianapolis, New England, and I can't think who that other team is. I'm like, well, it can't be Indianapolis. They don't have any first round.
And it ain't San Francisco. Same thing. Ain't got no first round pick.
Yep. I hope it's not New England. Oh, Tennessee was the other team.
Yeah.
And him and AJ Brown are real tight.
AJ Brown, you see that promo or that campaign ad he did? I was laughing so hard. That was very entertaining. If for no other reason, if I'm Julio, I would go to Tennessee just behind AJ's efforts. That was hilarious.
Yeah, because they just lost Corey Davis, the free agency. He went to the Jets. But Ronbo, you said something that was spot on, 100% correct.
What's that?
These media clowns are jerks. They feel like they have the right to dig into your past, my past, anybody's past, put us on speakerphone when it should be a one-on-one conversation, just to get a story. They feel like they have that right, and they don't.
Yep. Start issuing fines and giving them limits and boundaries, and they would say, that's un-American. I know, but you guys are un-American. You guys infringe upon everything that makes any sense and think it's okay. You can't do that. You're not supposed to be, but the NFL has their set of rules versus the public rules. You can't. We have tampering issues. We have this. We have that. Don't do that. And Shannon was way out of line, and he knows better. He's been in the NFL. Yeah.
Sure he was. Now, if you make a phone call on the air, but you don't put them on speakerphone, then it's just you and him. Even though you should be making phone calls on the air anyway. Yeah. But to put it on the air, on speaker, and not tell him that he's on speaker on the air, that's unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to stop it. Tony, they're going to continue to do things to get a rise, and whoever they're working for says that's their job.
Classless, and ESPN ain't no better; they even worse.
I know. That's why I call them BSPN. God.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tony, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm thinking I'll be back tomorrow, and be looking for you. Huh? Always enjoy talking to you.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure, sir, and enjoy your platform.
Thanks.
And tell Texas boy, go Cowboys.
All right. I'm sure you heard. All right. Night, Tony.
Take care, sir.
You too. And John says, and clicking bell, 49ers Ultimate Report. Rudy, visit Beast Rider, and he will tell you, and he'll tell you Rams will finish last. See? So Rudy coming in and announcing that the 49ers are this, the 49ers are not that, 49ers. It's irrelevant, Rudy, because in the real world.
Man, Rudy.
I mean,
Man, Rudy, we kick your team's ass every goddamn season. We swept you guys with our third and fourth string.
Nick Mullins went out there and beat him up. So I understand how Rudy feels. The word audacity is. It actually drives him. I mean, he comes in here.
I love how he talks about how you don't know football, but the thing is that if he actually watched football, he knew that Jared Goff ain't nothing but a fucking washed-up QB. In all honesty, Ronbo, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, the two QBs we got rid of, both kicked the shit out of the Rams. Where is he getting this data from? Come on now. And I was like, and you think Jimmy G is worth? Bro, we stomped you out.
And with Jay beats him with no effort. And it's not all defense when we play him. Jimmy's out there beating him up. The defense is out there beating him up. Everybody takes part in beating the Rams' ass. So I understand how Rudy feels pride to call in here and shame himself like that.
Man, it's just as bad as when the Raider decided to join in the chat. You talk about how Gruden is a savior. The only reason why Gruden ever got a Super Bowl ring was because Dungy, or whatever his name is, I forget, that was playing, well, that coach of the Bucs. That was
Tampa Bay?
team.
Yeah.
That was his. Yeah. Outside of that, he's never won anything with the Raiders. I don't know what the Raiders fans think or see in John Gruden, because John Gruden is probably the worst coach out there. Imagine having a really good QB and you bench your Carr. Come on, really? And I'm going to go ahead and say this right away, because I'm pretty sure a lot of 49ers can actually agree with me on this one.
Yeah.
The Raiders ain't nothing but a retirement home for the 49ers that want to end their career.
David, well said, and I fully agree and endorse that fully. I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. But Stephen, you got to know, the reason they come in here and heckle us, because we're far superior to them. The Rams don't have a championship found in L.A. That trophy's sitting in St. Louis. All right, you look at the Raider fans. Raider fans stopped at 3. They had a run. They did well. Not bad, you know. But they look at us as like, those guys are running around talking crap like they think they're all that. Well, they are all that. That bothers them.
We got 5. You guys have 3. Every time we play you guys,
7.
we beat your ass. What do you want?
Screwed up in the last second at both times. We should have 7. Stephen, we should have 7. 7 should have been on it.
We should have had 7.
But that's
every
how good
time
we
should have had 7.
You know? Anyway.
And then another thing I want to mention too is that man, at this point, Ronbo, there is no such thing as a 49ers-Raiders rivalry. It's just a 49ers ass-whooping to the Raiders. That's it. Plain and simple. Now, enough talk about the Raiders and how bad they are. Let's actually get down to brass tacks. I don't think Julio Jones is going to come to us. There's no way. There's no possible way. Atlanta says they want a first-round pick. We don't have one. We're not going to have a first-round pick for the next 2 years.
Seasons. Unless you make a deal. Maybe Jimmy brings one back next year. I don't know. Yeah.
But if anything, Ronbo, I'm just excited to see, the 49ers play just as everyone else is. Everyone keeps talking about Jeff Wilson Jr., tearing his meniscus. A lot of people don't understand how easy that is to do. You can tear your meniscus walking down from your
stairs,
your steps in your house. You can tear your meniscus throwing out the trash. You can easily do it, just like doing an everyday activity. But a lot of people are like, who's going to cut it? Who's going to fill the spot? A lot of people keep forgetting Hasty. A lot of people keep forgetting him. And I'm like, don't write him off. Gallman, he's good, but he has a fumbling history.
Oh, whoa. Stephen, what? Gallman fumbles?
Gallman. Mm-hmm. Gallman does fumble.
Oh, no.
The only time he ever corrected it was last year. That was it. Outside of that, he's like really, really fumbled. You gave him the ball, fumble. You were guaranteed to get to the ball back if you're the defensive side of the Giants.
How about you watch college football? Stephen, do you watch college football?
Let me see.
I'm concerned about Trey Sermon. Has he got a fumbling history too?
No, that I don't know. So that's where you got me stumped on that one. I don't think I've ever seen Trey Sermon play football in college. I was typically focused on who our third-round pick was going to be, because that's where it had everyone nervous. I'm pretty sure we all agree that after our third pick, we didn't care who the 49ers picked up.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch Trey Sermon in his college days. I do know that Elijah Mitchell is a solid pick, around a solid pick with the Raising Cajuns. I agree to that 110%. But Trey Sermon is a questionable move for me. The one thing I want to say though is
true. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of like I don't know how to feel about Trey Sermon. I think he was just kind of like a backup just in case if Elijah Mitchell didn't make it or if any of our other running backs didn't make it. I think he was just going to be the not the punt return, but I want to say like the kickoff return.
We're talking about Trey Sermon. Stephen, they picked him up in the 3rd round. That's the big running back. Well, you know what? We're going to find out more about him. This is why I can't wait till the preseason games. Well, Steve, we got to go. We're out of time.
I'm excited.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, Ronbo.
All right. Have a great night. Yeah. Hey, Fernando.
Ronbo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Come on in.
Hey, brother, how you been? Long time. I haven't spoken in a while.
I haven't saw that name in a long time. Fernando, how you been doing,
Yeah,
man?
good, brother. Good, brother.
All right,
I've
good
been
to hear
busy,
that.
but
Good to
yeah,
hear.
but I've been listening
Nowadays,
to the
that's a
call,
good
but I'm
question.
excited.
Huh? I'm sorry.
So, what were we saying, sir? What were you saying,
No, I said
Ronbo?
nowadays asking somebody how they're doing, it's a great question after this last year. Man, COVID was scary. Running around, man, and finding some people I knew about, I was shocked, you know? So good to hear you're fine. Gosh. Oh.
Yeah, brother. But yeah, but the reason I'm calling is I was talking about Julio coming to the Niners.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? Not because I know because we don't have that much draft picks. Have you ever thought of like maybe picking up other veteran like Alshon Jeffrey or Kenny Stills or like D.D. Westbrook, and that'll be less cost efficiently. And this still, even though they have downfall, but still like we can fill up that third receiver slot, because that's what we do. Like since we got rid of Kendrick Bourne, we have not set up unless they're waiting for her to come back because I know he's injury prone, but I don't know.
They're going to look through everybody we got, but you're right. And then you know what, Fernando? After June 1st, there's going to be an exodus. There's going to be receivers that are going to have to be released because a lot of teams can't afford what they've got, right? You're right. Somebody is going to come down through the comb, and I think the 49ers are sitting there waiting for that because they can't. Julio, you can get him now, but then what do you do with him later? We're not paying all that stuff for Julio to have him for 1 year. That would suck. And we can't afford to keep him next year. That would be a problem.
For sure. No, because we still have to pay. We still have to pay Fred. If they think McGlinchey's they have to if they want to extend McGlinchey, unless that rookie they got the one that's might play left guard if Lakin
Aaron
goes away.
Banks. Yeah, I didn't know Banks played.
No. The other guy. What's the name?
The other guy from Michigan.
Right guard.
Oh, I forgot his name.
The guy from Michigan.
They don't talk
I
about
forgot his name, but I made. Yeah, so maybe if that's their plan, but if they're not going to be able to capitalize, but if we do get Julio, honestly, I think we can probably start trading players away that are going to be expensive, and because there's a lot of players on our staff that but we have to get younger, honestly, Ronbo.
Well, yeah,
we're getting old, man, pretty soon.
And somebody lied. Somebody cleared it up though in the chat. Somebody lied and said we're the second oldest team in the NFL right now.
Yes.
But Richard Sherman's not with us anymore. I think because we have Alex Mack. Hey, Fernando, it's because they added Alex Mack, and also you look at Williams. Trent Williams is up there. Mm-hmm. So those two players, it's not what it looks like. It's not what it sounds like. Calling the 49ers the second oldest team because we have a couple of veterans that are up there in age, and they drag the age way down. Because you look at every position, that team is not old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, your average age. Yeah, you're right. And that might not be old, but injuries do take a toll on your body, that can catch up on you, and that can give you that can age. So if you think about it, if you're 31, 32, you got a big injury. It might take you an additional year and a half to get back to normal. So because Father Time does catch up on you, and
does not let injuries
but
heal.
Overall. Correct.
God.
So that's what I said. Like, I'm excited for our team going forward, but we do have a lot of holes to fill. We still didn't address our cornerback position, even though we do have some guys. We do drafted those two guys, but I mean, long term,
But Fernando,
we have to wait and see.
I Jason Verrett and actually Emmanuel Mosley, they're kind of solid. Now you can't look at them as superstars, but Ambry, man defender, Diamador Lenore, I'm not sure about him because what I heard about him the other day was not good compared to what I heard about him a few days before that.
No, that's what I heard. Yeah, I heard Lenore got worked by Ayuk. I heard Ayuk was just like
he got smoked by Debo too.
That's what I heard. Like by Debo too. So I'm like, so I think it was because I think he went against against Watkins, and that's like a rookie on rookie. But when you go against like NFL caliber players, then of course they're gonna see what's going on.
Though. K'Wan Williams got worked by Jawan Jennings. You know what? It's probably too soon to make this call, though. Let's wait until camp when they put on the pads. There's always a difference when you put on the pads. So you got me worried about the cornerbacks.
Sure, that's because and something that we haven't talked about is the pass rush too. Because I know we got the guy from the Rams.
Yeah.
But and then the D Ford, I don't know, like the thing the Niners should take it slow with him, and just not really have him practice, just be game day player, have at least 10-15 plays work.
Wrap him in
like
bubble
a
wrap.
pitcher, like a pitcher, like a pitcher's count, the way when MLB players, that's a few with him. But I think if D Ford comes back to D Ford when he was in Kansas City, I think he can be beasting.
Oh God, if only. And play at least 15 games, preferably the last 15. Oh, man.
Why not?
Or
just play.
I won't be talking trash then. Talk like the 49ers going somewhere. Hawks are going nowhere. CX Ray, you need to come to grips with that. Your team is weak.
I know.
I love when the Hawks fans talk trash. They have no room to talk.
Yeah, for sure. Bro, I think, but overall, what's up, Ronbo?
We're out of time. Let me see them off, Fernando. Don't take so long to get back. I'll be back tomorrow. Looking for you.
I know, Ronbo. I got brother. Be safe. I'll be back.
You too. Looking forward.
Fernando from Fremont. Remember that.
I know. That's why we talked about some players from Fremont. That's why I remembered you. So and we got that. Hey, we got that fullback that might turn into something. I think you should keep him. What's his name?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right. We'll talk. Anyway, we'll talk. We'll talk. We got to go now because we're running late. All right, Fernando. Great to hear from you,
Okay,
man.
Ronbo. Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Yeah. All right, brother. Be safe. All right, God bless.
You too. Back at you, fam. Hey, Russo.
Ronbo.
Russo. Come on in.
What's up, bro?
I know you're pro. You're definitely pro. You know what? There's none of us who don't want Julio. But when you look at the whole situation, make us feel better about it, Russo, if we do get him.
Ronbo.
Toby, thanks. It's Hawkins. Go ahead.
This is not Odell Beckham Jr. rumors, Ronbo. This is Julio Jones, okay?
Yeah.
Everyone needs to stop acting like Julio Jones is some ancient 32-year-old receiver who's on his last leg, all right? Everybody needs to stop.
True.
Because this is one of the 3 best wide receivers in football, okay? Yeah. And he's 32 years old. Yes, his contract is $23 million, but if you trade for Julio Jones after June 1st, you're only taking on $15 million this year.
And as far as
okay, Atlanta's going to get charged with $8 million, and then the final 2 years of his deal is only 11.5 and 11.5. Ronbo, that is free money. That's stealing. You must go get Julio Jones. And I understand Atlanta might want a first-round pick, but guess what? I want a first-round pick for everything too. So do I. But you don't get it. That's not how it works. You don't just say, "Hey, I want a first-round pick." Oh, guess what? My guy who I want a first-round pick for just went on TV and said, "No, I'm out of there." There's zero leverage. Everybody in the world knows that they must move him because they can't get out. They're buried in the salary cap. They can't even roster a team right now because they're so over their head in money. They have to get rid of him. Julio Jones is going to end up going somewhere for a second-round pick, guaranteed, and then whichever team is offering something else on the side is who's going to get him. You give a second-round pick and something else, you're going to get him. I'm telling you. And
we might quietly be in that mix, Russo. You think so?
Diana Rossini is saying that an anonymous team is offering a first-round pick. And the reason why the deal hasn't been publicized or more than that is because they can't do anything before June 1st because it's going to cost them $8 million. So if this happens, it's going to happen probably June 1st at 12:01 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Or June 2nd at 12:01 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's got to be a bidding war for this guy. And it just blows my mind. And, like, this is my thing, Ronbo. You've known me for about 3 years now. I am Jimmy Garoppolo's #1 supporter. I have always had his back. I said he will be here this year. I said we were drafting Trey Lance, and Jimmy's going to be the starter. But, man, Ronbo, if we miss out on Julio Jones over money, Jimmy needs to do something. He needs to restructure or something because it's not like
they wouldn't lose out on they wouldn't lose out this year. They can afford to pay him right now, but next
I'm
year.
just saying for Julio, Ronbo.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that does not happen. You don't just get a Hall of Fame wide receiver that's available.
I know.
It doesn't happen. And that's my thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I want Trey Lance to sit for a year. I want him to be Patrick Mahomes. I want Jimmy G to stay. I want Jimmy G to win a Super Bowl because I know he can, and he deserves it, and he's one of my favorite players of all time. But, Ronbo, if you're telling me I can have Julio Jones
right now, we should definitely do it.
right now.
Hey, Jimmy wants
Yes.
him. Jimmy said something the other day. He had to make himself stop. Jimmy wants him as well. So,
I heard that. That. And I'm just, there's no doubt in my mind, if you put Julio Jones on this team and you don't take away massive parts from this team, maybe just some draft picks, this team is the best team in the league.
Oh, no doubt about
They're
it.
the best team in the league, Ronbo.
Yeah. Take that, Seahawks reign. The best team in the league. Yours doesn't get into the conversation. Russo, I love it, man. It makes sense to me.
You know me well enough. I am not delusional. I am not a delusional 49ers fan. I will tell you, Ronbo, what I think. And you put Julio Jones on this team with all these guys coming back and all these players they added in the draft, and you got Trey Lance waiting in the wings, and he can – you want to make this kid's job a little bit easier? Yeah, give him Julio Jones and Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and the best running game in football and the best play caller in football.
And
with the best left tackle in football.
And that's all I've been crying about for a couple of years with Jimmy. You give Jimmy that kind of arsenal, guaranteed results. And if all we have to worry about is the injuries. That's the thing every year.
Yeah,
even
who
we were
is
that good
like
even
Rudy,
last
what
year.
did Rudy say? What does Rudy have to say? Trey Lance can't throw the ball. He doesn't know what he's doing. And Jimmy Garoppolo, okay.
He can't throw
First off, I don't even know why you take that guy's calls because he sounds like a moron. Like, the way he talks is stupid, let alone what he has to say. It's like, so I feel like he's really trying hard to put sentences together, for one. But whatever. I'll just let it go, Rumble. But for me, Julio Jones, 100% yes. I really believe he's probably going to go to the Colts. If I had to put money on it, I would say the Colts. They didn't address the wide receiver in free agency or the draft. T.Y. Hilton's getting old. Michael Pittman looks good. You just traded for Carson Wentz. If you really want Carson Wentz to be successful, go give him Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? So, and they have a ton of cap space.
But
and they're in the AFC.
Chargers probably in this mix too. I
like the Chargers too.
I wish he'd go to. I wish he'd go to the Chargers. I don't want him in the NFC. I really don't.
And one more quick thing. Aside from Julio Jones, I wanted to say one other thing. I don't know who it was, and it's not really important, but somebody was talking about Wayne Gallman about having fumbling problems.
Is that right?
The dude had 168 touches last year, and he had one fumble.
Okay, good. I feel better already.
He averaged 4.6 yards per carry, and he faced an 8-man box, the second most of any running back in the NFL minus J.K. Dobbins.
And the offensive line in New York is bad. Steven, that was for you.
Yes.
Okay, Steven. Now, don't do that, Steve.
Yes. Wayne Gallman is making this team, and Wayne Gallman is probably the second or third best running back we have. And I think Trey Sermon's going to be a Pro Bowler. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler. Not this year, but he's going to be a Pro Bowler.
Russo, we got to go, fam.
Give him a year or two in this system. Mostert's going to be gone in a year or two. I'm telling you, he's going to be a Pro Bowler.
God, outstanding stuff.
But, all right, bro. That's all I got.
It was plenty. Appreciate you. Always, Russo. We'll talk to you later.
All right, bro. Have a good night.
You too. Night. Uh-oh. My God. I don't have a... God, it's... Look out! Look out! TNT's newest edition. Nana! Mike, forget about it. Get in here.
Forget about it. You already know what time it is, Ronbo. It's time for anyone and anyone that's saying bullshit to forget about it.
We got about a quarter of the chat doing that. Make sure you go back and let them know, too. I got what? Seahawks reign. I'm gonna have to limit.
The chat knows.
Whew, man.
Yeah, the chat knows. Who's been in here? I've heard a couple of people mention
Rudy?
The Texas Fry Boy.
Yeah.
Texas Fry Boy. He's been in here lately or what?
He was in here the other day. They beat him up pretty bad. He's blocked pretty much everybody in the chat. I don't know who he's talking to when he comes in here. And then you got Seahawks reign that just goes off on drug-induced rants, And then Rudy calls in.
No, we already
Rudy
know
calls
that. Look,
in.
I mean, listen, between the crystal meth between the crystal meth and the pure depression up there in Seattle, Ronbo. Who knows what Seahawks Rain is really dealing with? You know, when he calls in the poor miserable prick. You know, all the players over there. No one wanted to show up for OTAs. You know, you got old Pete Carroll talking about, oh, we're gonna get stuff done virtually. We're gonna get stuff done virtually. That's good to know, Petey boy. That's really good to know. And you know, so I think it's telling. I think it's funny. You know, the whole situation. You know, all off season, you hear all the rumors coming out, and everyone's talking about Russell Wilson's not happy up there. You know, and sure enough, you know, I think all the other players got the message, Ronbo. You know what I mean? So if the quarterback's not all that thrilled about showing up, then why do we all got to show up? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think
love
that's
it.
big
And
part,
he's supposed to be
which is good
leading
for
the
us.
team. Exactly.
Yeah,
You know what, though?
exactly. So it's good for us, you know.
Yeah. So and Pete Carroll.
Definitely not good for Seahawks lame's you know, depression problem.
I know.
But you know, it's good for us. It's good for us. So hey, listen, Ronbo. So did you ever figure out we're gonna be able to do the Colts game or what? Did you get a permission
Oh,
from
hey,
your
listen,
wifey over there?
Mike,
What's going on?
Yeah, no, I'm tell you what. I'm gonna get together with you and talk about this on Twitter. The DMs.
All right, Ronbo. Definitely,
Yeah.
because look, now, you know, we gotta get it situated and locked in, Ronbo. I think it's gonna be an epic thing, man. You know, we're gonna do a little something live from the stadium there. You know, we're a little pre-Sunday night football live edition or whatever. Whatever we got to do, whatever Niner Mike's got to do to make it work out, Ronbo, I'm willing to do it to make it work out for you. All right?
All right, I'm listening, babe.
So keep that in mind. Whatever we got to put together. But anyway, you know, let's talk about the topic at hand, Ronbo. We over here talking about Julio Jones. Here's the thing. All right, we got to make a competitive offer. All right, I feel like if we're going to be in it, but at the same time, we don't want to overpay. But I got to tell you, Ronbo, if some other team and a real competitive team, obviously, you know, you heard him when he talked to Shannon Sharp the other day. He said the first thing he said was he wants to win. So he definitely wants to go to a contending team.
Wait, Mike. Wait. Mike, let me just say this real quick. And what did Shannon Sharp say? You don't want to go to Dallas. You don't want to be the Cowboys.
Oh, no, he's not going there. I know. That's why Texas boy didn't want to come in here tonight, because he already knows, you know, even if we don't get him, all right, it's not because he doesn't want to. It's because somebody outbid us. But Texas boy and the Cowboys, they're a no-go. They were no-go from the top of the start. They were no-go. So look, you know, like I said, what I don't want to see though, Ronbo, is this. All right, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see a team that's one of our bigger competitors, you know, coming out of the NFC, go and get him, and then it be some kind of just ludicrous, ridiculous, stupid deal. You know what I mean? The same kind of deal when the Desert Birds got D-Hop, and we were all like, well, what the hell? How come we wouldn't want it? Why wouldn't we want to give that up? You know what I mean? I just don't want it to be like that. You know, if he goes somewhere, fine. But let him either overpay or let him pay a top dollar price, and then we all get to sit back and say, you know what, it would have been nice to have Julio, but I don't know if we would have been willing to give all that up. Now, if he goes somewhere for like a third rounder or a couple of threes and a four or some stupid shit like that, and we don't get him or we don't take a swing at him, and that was the asking price, then that's going to be highly disappointing. I think personally, that's the only thing I'm hoping for. I'm not over here
because we got 2 third-round picks.
Julio Jones.
Mike, that's going to end up happening. Nobody's giving him a first-round pick. He's 32, and also you got to give him you got to give him a top pick and then pay him.
Big contract.
Yeah,
he carries a big contract number. You know what I mean? So, but that's just it, Ronbo. Like I said, I'm not over here praying we get him, because honestly, I really do like what we got personally. Particularly if freaking Jalen Hurd could just stay freaking healthy, Ronbo. Jesus. I mean, when you hear Jimmy G talk about him, it's almost like they had, like, you know, a little private pass and catch session, and he just really loves the guy. You know what I mean? Because he talks about him as if he's been out there throwing to him, and we all know that hasn't happened.
All right.
You know what I mean? But
Jimmy
yet
just
when
wants
he
a
talks
big
about
target
it's
other than
like,
George Kittle.
Yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, definitely, you know, to catch all of Jimmy's overthrows. But that's for another topic.
Mike, we're going to get out of here. Our time's up before you get started on my boy.
We're going to go, right, Ronbo?
And you knew it.
Oh,
Mike,
forget about it, Ronbo. I love you. I swear to God over here. You know, I swear to God, you're something special, Ronbo. You was a production
it's
over there.
you. You're the one who wins the award in that category. Hey, okay, I'll get back to you on Twitter. And I think I'm going to be back tomorrow. Let's see what happens with the I want to know what's going on in camp. They were supposed to do that today. But anyway, all right, fam.
All right.
All
All
right,
right,
Mike.
well, we'll figure it out. You put the alert out there, and I'll catch on to it, Ronbo. All right, you have a good one.
All right,
Shout
fam.
out to the Niner faithful out there. Shout out to the TNT family. And, you know, hope all of you is getting ready for a nice holiday weekend. Be safe and enjoy time with your families, all right?
Hey, there you go, Mike. And Mike, if you see a guy wearing a Seahawk, if you're driving along and you see a guy wearing a Seahawk cap at a crosswalk, don't hit your brakes. All right. See you tomorrow.
And then when you drive by and he's looking at you weird, tell him to forget about it. All right, Ronbo,
so he'll know. He'll definitely know then.
All right, Ronbo. All right.
Night, Mike. There goes. Night, Mike. Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
Tommy! Well, Tommy, you've been very busy tonight, chastising the trolls, or as Niner Mike. What kind of prick did Niner Mike call? That was pretty funny. I liked when he goes those old school names that really. I'm surprised he didn't call him a tool or a. What's that other one that was popular way back when? Oh God! Hey, Tommy. So listen, we're talking about Julio tonight. You already know. What are you thinking? Because like I'm asking people, have they had enough of the Julio conversation? Will your life change dramatically if we don't get him? I mean, all these things. I'm wondering what's going on with you as far as that goes.
I'd love to have him, but I hate to say that I agree with Rudy on one point. Who's going to throw to him? I mean, he likes to go deep, but Jimmy doesn't really throw deep.
Well, you know, I don't agree with that. I've seen Jimmy go deep when we had a deep threat. You know, we don't. You need a guy that gains separation, and when a deep threat that's why he's called a deep threat. You go deep on a kid that's not doing well with that, and it's going to be pretty much a contested shot. You don't want to go deep. Jimmy overthrew Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl. Marquise Goodwin, he threw a couple of times, and Marquise Goodwin, the ball went down through his chest. So to believe Jimmy can't throw deep, I think that might be a myth that's being pumped up by Kyle not making that call. But at any rate, you know, Julio can still get things done.
Yeah, I mean, you could also say that maybe Emmanuel was he's not a fast guy anyway, and maybe he just didn't run and get that catch in the Super Bowl because he wasn't fast enough.
That's what I'm saying. If that had been Marquise Goodwin or even probably Ayuk, that's a touchdown. That ball wasn't thrown that much beyond him, just a few feet. So if he'd have been a little faster, and you know the Chiefs were holding. So, you know, it's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were definitely holding, defensively holding, I mean.
No, but the refs don't call those.
Yeah, and the Clichy was not good on that on the final plays on Pass Pro.
Oh yeah. Now that game, that's right. The Chiefs got their ass. Yeah. You know what's so funny, Tommy? Because all the calls that should have been made, it's like Goodell or somebody had a talk with the referees. All right, listen. Last year, the 49ers probably got a little robbed on the calls. This year, guys, I want you guys to call this game even, all right? Let's not give up anything. And you see something, make the call. So the Chiefs got called on every last thing this past season that they should have got called on the year before. Holding, fouls, everything they did got called. And that's why they got ran off the field, along with no offensive line for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But I think you're going to be good again when you got Mahomes and they actually addressed the offensive line, unlike the Rams, the Seahawks. So that's one thing we can be.
Listen, Tommy, here's something we could talk about real quick since you were arguing with that Hawks fan. Russell Wilson proved last year that when they put the ball in his hands, he failed for 5 successive weeks. He doesn't talk about that, does he?
Yep.
This is why Russell Wilson was definitely suspect for a very long stretch.
And I'm not sold on the run game. I mean, Chris Carson, he's good, but is he really great? But I mean, I guess it really depends on there.
He does scare me though. When he gets the ball, he is a wrecking crew to get down. Him and DK Metcalf concern me. Tyler Lockett finds a way to get open.
Really, DK, you gotta tip your hat to. He's really fast and he's just great.
Yeah. But the rest of them, I mean, they don't have a defense that anybody needs to worry about. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Oh, who are you worried about in the NFC West?
The Cardinals. See, Tommy, I'm looking at the talent. Cliff Kingsbury's a silly coach, but they're so good. They can win with a silly
Kingsbury
coach.
is trash. I mean, imagine if they had somebody good, they might have been in the playoffs for at least last year.
And they got
that
lineup.
D-Hop, who I think is the best receiver.
And they got A.J. Green over there, and actually the guy they drafted a couple years ago. What's his name? Anyway, the running game's not bad either. Their defense now added J.J. Watt, and I don't know what kind of impact he's going to have, but it can't be good for us. So, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
And then you got the Kyler Murray running around there like a mosquito. There's not enough to grab. So, it's a problem.
Yeah, and he's a little guy. And we kind of almost destroyed his career in the last game of the season.
We figured him out, Tommy. We got him figured out. God. So, we'll see.
Well, I'd love to have Julio to answer your question.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. We don't have much draft capital. I think we can handle it on a salary cap way, but he's not worth it first. But I mean, if he's going to get it first, it's going to be somebody like the Chiefs or somebody with a late round, which is kind of an early second. So, but I doubt they're going to get that too.
Yeah,
I'd say second is the highest they're going to get. And we don't want to give up a second. I don't even know if we have a second.
No, we have a second. We don't have a first. We have a second.
We can't give up. We cannot give up a player in the top 100 again.
I know, right? So
So I think
but
third.
Tommy, they're not in any position to argue because they only have a few days to make this deal.
Yeah.
When you're a team that has no money to pay your new recruits, you're in a bind. So.
Yeah. Well, there's a semi-troll out there, Daddy Dennis. I don't know if he's a troll, but he's Seahawks.
Yeah, every Hawks fan in here.
On one point.
Every Hawks fan in here.
I agree with him that.
Go ahead.
I
was going to say, every Hawks fan in here.
I agree that if people.
You tell me you faded at the end.
What's that?
We missed the last part. It broke up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
I was just saying that Atlanta is stupid to get rid of Julio when they have hits. I mean, that's just a lethal combination.
Oh, they can't. It's all about the money. They just can't afford it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Tom, we got to go though. We ran out of time here. Tommy, I'll see you tomorrow. Go back there and say hello to Seahawks Rain for me. God, he is annoying.
Yeah, just tell that guy. Just tell that guy to go back to elementary school. His grammar and his spelling is pathetic.
Him and Smiley, man, those guys are like. You need a repellent or a spray. They're like mosquitoes and stuff like that. Hey, Tommy, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. All right.
All right, I'll see you then. Have a great night.
You too. Night, Tommy. Say
care.
Say hello to Anna Maria for everybody. All right.
Will do.
Night, Tommy. Night.
Ronbo.
There goes the blues man, Tommy Huxley. Hey, go to Facebook and check out Tommy Huxley. The guy's sitting there wailing on that guitar. Dude can play. Hey, Bill.
How's it going? Sitting here patiently, waiting to get on.
Bill, you
hey, why are you worried about those Seahawks fans? Why are you worried about them, Ronbo?
I feel bad.
I,
You know what, Bill?
I want to see them.
You know what?
I want them to keep coming. No, hold on. Let me finish. If they keep coming, when we win the Super Bowl, where are they going to be?
I know, right? See, that's why. But here's why they piss me off doing that. Because right now they're in here being their annoying selves, and then last year every game when we were winning, or the year before, should I say, every game we were winning, they would disappear all of a sudden. You know, if you go into a room where a roach-infested place or any kind of pest and turn the lights on, they'd start scattering into the corners and under the doorways, and they'd get out because they knew that their time had now come. And no, they don't stay around for it. The cowards run. They run. That's what pisses me off about them. If you're going to be in there pissing people off, then stay and wait.
I will say this, Ronbo, to them. All right, we don't got Richard Sherman anymore, but I'm going to use a quote from his playbook. Keep that intensity. Keep that intensity. Because I feel we're going to have a great year. It's going to be a good year, Ronbo. I'm already feeling it. And I'm going to tell you what, tell them to keep that intensity. And they better show up when the Niners hold the Lombardi Trophy. It's happening. It's happening, okay?
And congratulate.
And, to congratulate us and eat some crow. Now, let's get on about this Julio thing.
Yes.
I don't really see that happening. There's not much to really give up. But I do know guys we can target. I've been saying for a long time about him, and I'm going to bring him back up. Hakeem Butler. Why won't we go get Hakeem Butler? It will open up a lot more depth, and we won't really need all that. I mean, we got everything we need. I'm happy with what we got.
Isn't that the kid? Didn't he get cut from the Cardinals? Is he still with the Cardinals?
No, he got cut. He's a free agent. I think he's a free agent.
You want to go get him?
Yeah, get him. Get him. Because once he catches the ball, it's hard to take him down. It's like, let me put it like this. It's like Hornswoggle trying to tackle Andre the Giant. It's not going to work out too well.
You know what's really funny, Bill? Everybody wanted him going into the draft. I think he has a problem catching the ball, though, right?
But Shanahan can work on that with him. We gotta get to this.
You know what? Bill, I got
a team that wasn't that good.
You know, bring him in and let's give it a look and try out. I've got no problem with that. And if he can impress Shanahan, bring him on.
Yeah, I mean we ain't got to do a lot of trading and you know the Cosmos are like triple teaming. You got a triple team to get him down. So now they got to put three guys on a team. Hakeem Butler. That leaves Kittle open. That leaves Deebo Samuel open. That leaves Brandon Ayuk open. He really ain't got to throw deep because who's going to catch him? Come on now.
And you know, doesn't he have a lot of speed? I remember him being quite fast.
Yeah, he's pretty fast as well. So, you know, if we don't get Julio, we need to start looking at Hakeem Butler. That's what we really need to look at. And we can develop him. And, you know, if anything, we can put him on the practice squad. Because nobody's going to want to go grab him now. So we can see, you know, develop him for a couple of years. We can see how Hurd pans out. And if Hurd don't work out, we got a Hakeem. There you go.
You know, the way Jimmy's talking, I got a feeling Hurd is going to work out. But Jimmy leaked probably too much information. Yeah. We'll see.
So I'm really not worried about Julio. We don't need to sell the farm for Julio. We got everything we need, Ronbo. Be happy. And let these haters come in. Don't let them work you up. You're going to have a stroke over it, man.
I know. You know, every now I watch them, and we got Tommy, and we got 4 or 5 guys that's all they do is work the trolls the whole time. And I love you guys, by the way. You're doing a great job. But the thing is, every now and then they throw that one little zinger. Usually Joseph Smiley and Tommy Testosterone. Those 2 guys, they can finally find a way to piss me off. And I try not to show it. I'm going to stop showing. Bill, you're right. I'm going to stop saying it. I'm not going to show it. Even Texas boy doesn't piss me off. You know, none of them do except for a couple.
But I will say one thing. If you're going to practice and be preaching and practice the word of God and then deny him when you're fronted, whoever that was, the Seahawks guy, don't even do it at all. I'm going to call you out on that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're being a hypocrite, dude. Don't do that. I'm gonna call you out on that.
No, they
And
got no
off that
boundaries.
Rumble,
They got no boundaries,
right?
Bill. You know, they're just a group that you wouldn't associate with. If you saw them in public, you'd probably just walk across the street. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I laugh at them. Safe is safe. I ain't got no. I'm not scared. I'll put it this way, Rumbo, just be happy, be excited about the season. I don't want to hear you ranting and raving. Don't let them get on your nerves. Laugh. You
You're
know
right.
what? Pull MC out. Pull MC out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let him deal with them.
I
love it,
I'll
Bill.
tell you
It's-
what, Rumble, give me a 49er shout out. I'm gonna get up off here.
All right.
You know, keep it good, man.
Thanks, Bill. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Bill, have a good night, fam.
You too, man.
All right. Thanks, Bill. And Sergio. Sergio. Talk to Sergio and Fairman. Sergio.
Ronbo.
Sergio, man, we're getting into the, you know, this is the last weekend, as we go into the weekend, this is our last few days to have to wonder about Julio, as this mystery is going to end here in a few days. You think we're going to be at the end of it? Are we going to be the climactic final chapter of this drama? Because, you know, Julio, the Falcons and the media, I have a feeling, though, the media is saying one thing and the Falcons are saying something else. In between, somewhere between the two factions, the truth. And, you know, and the 49ers are quiet. Whenever the 49ers are quiet, you never know. Of course, what am I saying? The 49ers are always quiet until they have something to say. And usually something's already happened for them to talk about. But what do you think, Sergio? Are you a Julio fan? Who isn't?
I am, man.
Yeah.
I watched him, you know, when we played them in the playoffs and the championship games. Like, this dude is a beast, and he's always been a beast. You know, he's like another Terrell Owens. You know, he's just tall, strong, fast. So I would really love to see him as a Niner, which looks like a possibility. You know, because of the connection with Shanahan and you know, like you said, he wants to win. We're a winning team. I know all these Seahawks fans are talking smack because of what happened last year, but come on, look at the facts. Why last year happened, you know? But anyways,
that's why I asked him about 2019. Why did that happen?
Yeah. You know,
There's Hollister.
And the thing is,
Trey Greenlaw stands him up on the 1 yard line. He did not get in. He did not get in. Look at where the spot is. That is not a touchdown. 49ers will get the ball back. Hawks fans, you remember that day?
That reminded me of when you see a pigeon run over in the street, like they could fly. How did a pigeon die in the street? That's how the Seahawks, you know, they got run over in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's so good.
Oh man, come on, man.
You get my bird. Why'd you get run over in a crosswalk, you dumb bird?
That's what it looked like.
That was awesome, Sergio.
Oh man, but I just gotta say, man, to the Seahawks fans, don't worry about us. What you should worry about is Sierra, because if she wants to move out, she's going to take Russell with her. Simple as that, man. Don't worry about her.
If she leaves him, he'll be a shell of himself then. I mean, this dude is attached. But he won't be able to play football anymore.
She got her fingers curled up in his hair, man. That's why his hair's all curled up like that, because she got him by the hairs.
And she could go to New York. You know? She could go to L.A. She could go anywhere. She could get a career. She's a performer, you know? So
she wants to be out there doing her job.
Yep.
You know, she gave him, you know, a couple of years doing his job, but now you know what? It's all about me.
Yeah.
I'm the important one, so trust me. When she says something, he's gonna jump.
I think that's why he wanted to go to Vegas. Russ probably did want to go to Vegas. You know,
probably,
Sierra would
man.
just be
loving
it.
She could get herself a show in one of the hotels.
She'd be booked. That's for 2-year contract.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I just want to say something to Julio if he's watching this show. Julio, come to us, man. We will make you a winner. We will make you a champion. and like someone was saying earlier that Jimmy doesn't throw deep. Man, dude, that guy goes deep, bro.
If he's got a receiver
if you don't
down there,
believe me,
he'll get it to
if
him.
you don't believe me, ask that porn star, man. He went deep on her. You know, like, dude, she got the playbook. She knows the playbook. Come on, bro. Come to us.
Sergio, I didn't see that one coming, man. You know, you really, you're killing me, man.
This is the way it is, man. You gotta look at the facts, and believe me, we go deep, and we win, and we got everybody healthy. So, bro, come get this ring.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe Jimmy will introduce. What is her name? Sierra? No. Jimmy's girlfriend in L.A. The professional.
Oh, I don't know. That guy got so many girlfriends. I can't even keep count. He's gonna have as many rings as he has girlfriends. I'm telling you, man.
The one that he got in trouble with. He'll introduce Julio to her.
Yeah, the Hispanic big booty chick.
Well, she did have plenty of booty, didn't she? We're way out of line here, Sergio.
Oh,
we got.
Why do you think you see Jimmy smiling every time?
Hey, if you're not 18, go to bed. All right.
Hey, man, that's just how we roll, man. Niner Nation all day.
Sergio, I'll tell you what. Hey, Sergio, tomorrow, man, get back in here, and because it's almost time for me to wrap up here, and I'll be looking for you. All right. Good to hear from you
I'll
again,
be on
too.
tomorrow.
Right.
I'll be out of town Saturday
Well,
for 2 weeks, but I'll be on tomorrow for sure.
Looking for your return, fam. All right. Have a good night, Sergio.
All right, man. You guys take care, and then Seahawks, keep hating, man. We love it.
Sight. Beating them up is even better. All right, fam. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Mario.
Hey, what's going on, Ronbo?
Mario, man, we're having this conversation because there's only a few days left before Julio. And, you know, this way, it makes us, it prepares us for the days ahead. The Julio conversation is going to get worse. When I say worse, they're going to start making 49er fans, is there a chance? Is Julio coming to San Francisco? And then, of course, June 2nd, so the Los Angeles Chargers, the blah, 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 everybody but us have signed Julio. And then we said, man, they had us thinking, man, we was in the mix, man. Guess not. So, you know, this way we don't have to go through all that. But Mario, are you going to be okay if we don't get Julio?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we really need Julio. Well, like, honestly. We already have, like, Ayuk and Debo and Kittle in a run-heavy offense. Like,
and we might have Jalen Hurd.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all those players in a run-heavy offense.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But that's very likely, though, getting Julio. Because since Alex Mack did the same thing, I don't see why Julio wouldn't, you know?
Mm-hmm. No,
join the familiar.
Mario, he doesn't even need to know. He doesn't have to learn the offense. It's just all he has to do is learn the new verbiage.
Yeah, plug and
He's
play.
already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He already knows his language.
So, you know, he'd be such a plus. That's why I don't want to get overly excited, because he would just make us win with ease. Because now defenses have to play a whole nother defense. With Ayuk and Debo, they're probably going to, man, them youngsters, man, come on, man, I could, you know. But with Julio walks out of the field like, back up, guys, back up. You know, so you need that monster out there to make people respect you properly. Debo and Ayuk are going to be fine. But I want somebody out there that scares people. I love that. Big, bad Julio. So, you know, I want him really badly, but I don't want to get myself all excited, get my feelings hurt. So, you know, we'll see.
Yeah. I don't even know, like, what they even would have to give up for him. Like, I don't know about the draft pick. We'll probably need him. It'll be tough to see anyone leave.
They definitely want draft picks. I don't know what. It's like Russo said earlier, whoever gives them, you know, second-round pick and something else, that's who's going to win Julio.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably, even if the Niners do send in an offer, I'm sure they'll hit up another team and try to double that.
Because you know what, we don't need
it won't be hard.
Mario, who would you give up? You said, okay, Falcons, okay, let's deal, man. What do you want to do? All right, we give you a second round pick. All right, 49ers, you know, you guys finish probably with Julio. Your second round pick is like pick number 64. Well, I need that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to give you that pick, and who would you give up? If you could add another player, who would you give? You give number 2, second round pick, and who?
A second round pick and a player?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, huh? Because they're not going to accept anything. You can't give them Richie James. They'll laugh.
Yeah, the first thing I think is Armstead, but then I feel like they definitely wouldn't want Armstead.
Hey, you know what? Because they want defense. I keep forgetting they don't want offense. They need a running back. But what they really need is defense. You're right.
But they're
that might
in
work.
trouble with he might be expensive for them. Since Julio's already a problem with his money.
I forgot. Armstead gets paid too much. I forgot. So, you know.
Yeah, he's going to become a problem for us. Well, that contract.
We don't have any other We don't have any other rookie, and they're not getting Nick Bosa. So we don't have any other rookie that would interest them, I don't think, on defense. It's a tough one. Okay. Somebody's going to figure something out here. I can't wait till next week when the Julio thing is over. They have to get rid of him, though. They have no choice. Julio has to go, period. Even if he's not going to us, he's going somewhere.
I know. That's going to be scary no matter where he goes. You know it's going to be a contender.
So I know.
Julio?
Yeah, Julio's not going to want to go otherwise. And only a contender is going to be interested. If you're building, you're not going to get Julio. He's 32. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So whoever that is going to get him is going to look probably pretty scary to start the season.
So it could be the Titans.
Titans.
Could be the Chargers.
The Chargers. Yeah.
I don't know, Mario. It's gonna be crazy. Mario, I'm gonna go though. Hey, tomorrow, wake up, find out what's going on with Julio. And Mario, always appreciate you, fam. Let's get together tomorrow.
All right, sounds good, Ronbo. Good night.
All right, night, fam. Man, the Julio saga. And we're supposed to be talking. Well, actually, we are talking 49ers football. This just it, Justin, because we're getting ready to go, man. Well, Justin, get a little chime in early tomorrow so I can put you on the list. So I won't leave if you're on the list. But yeah, and thanks for the contribution. So I owe you. All right, see you tomorrow. But here's the thing, man. That's what we're all going to be concerned with. What the 49ers have to give up to get Julio. And like Russo says, there is no price that's too high for Julio. And like so many people say, whatever deal they want, you do it in a heartbeat, So I will see. They need defense more than they do, because what do they say? What we got? Ridley. We got this new kid named Pitts. Well, I got Hayden Hurst. They probably got another wide receiver nobody talks about. That's probably pretty good. They don't need a lot offensively. They do need a running back though. We ain't sending. See, everything nobody wants to send is probably what they want. So we got to wait and see what happens. Damn. That was an interesting sound. I might be back tomorrow. I'm thinking I want to. So let's see what we come up with between now and tomorrow that's worth talking about. Meantime, fam, thanks for the likes. And thank you so much for the contributions, fam. Always appreciated. Good night, Kim. And you're welcome. I know. for the win. Shut up, Seahawks Rain. Go. Shut up. Seahawks Rain.